for the Red Sox, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Drew, Pedroia, and Youkilis, Bay, Ortiz, and Kotsay, Ellsbury, Veritek, and Green. Dustin Pedroia, .433 last 12 games against the O's.
Take a look at our PNC scouting report. The Red Sox have won 13 out of the last 15, so it is a great test for Jason Birkin. He's out of Clemson University, only 25, and we talked a little bit, and we'll tell you the numbers, but there's about a 100-point difference when he throws strike one versus ball one. And for him, he has 4 pitches. He uses his changeup well. You know, fastball can be 92 to 94, so there's plenty of velocity, but he needs to command it. And again, you know, numbers a little misleading. They haven't got him a lot of runs, but he did have the one blip on the ERA screen, and that was when he gave up 9 runs in 3 1/3 innings against Oakland. Other than that, he's actually pitched pretty well, just not a lot of wins to show for it.
So Birkin ready to go to work here against a Red Sox team that scores a lot of runs, and when they get people on base, they're able to get them home. We'll talk about that as we get going. Into the leadoff spot in this ball game is J.D. Drew. He is 10th in walks in the league, taking over for Pedroia, who had some time there. But Terry Francona didn't like what he saw with Pedroia. Thought he was pressing too hard when he was trying to lead off. So he's put Pedroia back in the 2-hole, and J.D. Drew is getting a chance in the leadoff spot. Birkin's pitch to him will be taken down low for a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, Ellsbury, we saw him in April. He was leading off, but he was slumping, so they moved him back to the bottom, and his average close to 300 now. More comfortable for him.
That one in the air to center field. Jones going back, way back. Warning track off the base of the wall and gets over his head. Thinking about 3 is J.D. Drew, and he'll get there. Throw will come all the way in. A stand-up triple to lead off the ball game for J.D. Drew. Welcome to the number 1 spot.
Well, you know, he master of working the count and then getting good pitches to hit. 1-1 pitch. It's in the middle of the plate. We talked about being down. That's down the middle. And then Raimo doesn't back him up. Neither is Markakis over his head. And it looks to me this is going to be a home run. And right now, I think he sees it bounce off the wall. He puts the Jets on. And J.D. Drew, of course, you know, former number 1 draft choice of the Phillies. He can do everything when he's healthy.
Well, the Red Sox got a chance to get on the board early. Here is Dustin Pedroia. 288 overall, but he's just killing the Orioles as he's gone 9 for 18 this year. A .500 batting average against O's pitching in the previous 4 games.
Yeah, he pretty much does it all. I mean, he hadn't hit a lot of home runs this year with only 2, but he's hitting .357 with the runners in scoring position. Doesn't have to get a base hit to score a run here. Any fly ball, the infield back, about the only ground ball that wouldn't score a run would be right back to the pitcher.
The Red Sox have 3 of the top 10 averages with runners in scoring position in the American League this year. And Dustin has one of those. He's 5th at .357. Little check swing. That'll be fouled off, and the count will go to 1-2. So Birkin going to have to work at it right here. First appearance against the Red Sox for the Orioles right-hander. Opponents hitting .289 off him. The left-hander's .290. The right-hander's .288. Only a couple of home runs in the 31 innings that he has pitched. Drew at third base. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and Pedroia will take it outside for a ball. That's what Terry Francona said was Pedroia's problem when he was leading off. He wanted so desperately to get on. Terry said some of those pitches that he used to lay off when he's batting second or further down in the order, when he was leading off, he was chasing a little bit. So he wanted to get him back to a more comfortable spot. 2-2 delivery up the middle and a base hit and an RBI. Well, Pedroia kicks off the scoring in the ball game with an RBI single.
Well, if you're going to live in the middle of the plate, and the first 2 hitters, that's where Jason Birkin's gotten his fastball. You can see right back up the middle on a fastball about thigh-high middle of the plate. So take a look right here. Now 22 strikeouts in 275 at-bats. Contact hitter. And what does he do? Hit it right back up the middle for an RBI and a base hit.
So the first run in and the first 2 on for the Red Sox. Now here is Kevin Youkilis hitting at .313. Youkilis having yet another tremendous season. Boy, where would the Red Sox be without him? With Mike Lowell out, he's gone back to third base. After being a Gold Glove caliber first baseman, he goes right back to third as though he never missed a beat. with the third baseman Mike Lowell having his hip taken care of. Inside out swing. Markakis a long run, and that is a foul ball. Nick had a long way to go to try and get to that.
Yeah, and you can see the sun. The sun is setting, obviously, as we play here. And then, of course, the one field that does give you a little bit of a problem is right field. And this ball slicing away from Markakis. He leads the American League with 8 assists. Can't quite get to it.
There's that sun and the glare, and it's all in right field. Right field is the only spot on the field. You see the shadows even moving out towards Markakis now. Pedroia on at first base. Threat to steal. 12 out of 17 for Pedroia in stolen bases. Youkilis delivery, foul back again. Youkilis comes in 8th in average in the league, 9th in walks. He too with big numbers against the Orioles. He's 6 for 13 with a homer and 5 RBIs in the first 4 games.
Yeah, and his on-base percentage is first in the American League at a little bit over 44% of the time. So obviously that tells me and everybody that has to pitch him and try to get him out that he does not swing at a whole lot of balls. He can hit it out anyway. And then, of course, last year he hit 29 home runs. So he's closing in on being a home run hitter along with that whole package.
0-2 delivery to him. That is pump foul again. For some reason, maybe it's David Ortiz and the fact they've got a great pitching staff. Kevin Youkilis year after year continues, I think, to be underrated around Major League Baseball.
Well, I think last year he finished 3rd in the MVP voting. Pedroia won it. He led Pedroia led the league in doubles and base hits. But Youkilis day in and day out, and he can go, as you mentioned, play other positions.
That's amazing to me. 0-2. It's one thing to go to other positions. It's another thing to be able to play both corners of the infield, not only well, but really well.
Like, to me, he's kind of an intriguing guy because if you're playing against him, you really want to get him out because he wears his emotions on his sleeves. And when you talk to him about it, he said, "Hey, I don't like to make outs. I'm a full effort guy. All the cylinders need to be going."
Ground ball towards third. Melvin Mora. Oh, that took a hop on him. Brian Roberts relay, not in time. Good play by Moore, though, to stay with it, that ball shot up on him at the last second.
Yeah, Melvin put on a Gold Glove exhibition on Saturday night. The Orioles winning Friday and Saturday. There's that bad hop you talked about. And that slows the ball down. And again, Youkilis, he's kind of around the ball, so he gets out of the box well. And of course, he's one of these athlete performance guys, along with Pedroia and Brian Roberts. Worked on his stride length, his speed. He's never going to be fast, but gets out of the box quick. And now all of a sudden, with 1 out instead of a double play, you got Bay up.
So Youkilis on at first base, fielder's choice, and Jason Bay may be the MVP of the Boston Red Sox at this moment. He is 3rd in home runs in the league, 1st in RBIs, 6th in walks, and he's just tagging it all over the place. 277 average. Pitches taken down low for a ball.
Yeah, look at those numbers at Camden Yards. In that series up in Boston, he really took Guthrie into the bullpen, right center field in Fenway. You look at him, I thought he was more of a pull hitter when he came over to the Red Sox, even though the Orioles did see him in interleague play last year playing for the Pirates early on. Multifaceted, yeah, excuse me, Gary, but a multifaceted player.
What a pickup he was. Breaking ball by Birkin will miss, and the count will go to 2-0 on Bay.
Now, Manny Ramirez, and of course, we pretty much, if you follow baseball, you know his story. He's out on rehab, and the thing is they got somebody they can count on with Jason Bay, and can also produce.
And he's very quiet about it.
Yep.
Literally. Jason Bay has had big numbers on the road. He's had 7 of his 9 home runs hit on the road this season. Well, he's a danger away from Fenway. He's tied for 1st in home runs on the road in the American League. Pitch to him, swung on and missed. Birkin's got him stumbling a little bit right now as he's varying these pitches.
Well, here's going to be a hanging changeup, so the actual changeup fools him, but. And right here, there's your expo, and you can just see the change of speeds. But I don't think you want to hang around belt high with high changeups to Jason Bay or any of the Red Sox hitters.
2-2 count, runner at first base. One of the things that Dave Tremblay said in the pregame news conference about Birkin, he needs the changeup. He said he's got to get that changeup working and be able to incorporate it so that the hitters have to think about it. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Youkilis off first base, ground ball towards third again. Melvin Moore, a good hop. There's one relay to first, and they get the double play. So Birkin gets out of it. Only one run on a couple of hits headed by the leadoff triple by Drew. O's lineup coming up. From the O's perspective, that first could have been a lot worse. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles tonight, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Roberts, Jones, and Markakis. Huff, Reimold, and Wigginton. Mora, Wieters, and Andino. Aubrey Huff, right now, a hot hitter.
Well, a PNC scouting report on John Lester. Well, he owns the Orioles 7-0, 2.45 ERA lifetime. 3 runs or less his last fast start, 5 starts, and in 3 of those, 11 to 12 home runs on a couple of occasions, and that's why he is second in the American League with over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. Unbelievable stuff.
Lester has a 7-0 record lifetime against the Orioles, including 1 win against them this year. Brian Roberts, those 6 for 22 off him with a home run. One of the surprising things is that the individual Oriole hitters against him in the lineup tonight have some pretty good numbers. But as a team, the Orioles have struggled to beat him. Brian Roberts 0 for his last 10. 1-1 delivery to him, and that will just miss outside. And a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Lester, contact pitcher. He's walked only 30 in 92 innings. With all those strikeouts Jim was talking about, 106 of them. That's over 10 per 9 innings. Roberts will foul it away, and it's evened up 2-2.
So when guys have fairly high batting averages, but you keep the ball in the ballpark, then it usually comes down how well you play defensively and how you are with runners in scoring position. He's in the low 230s, and then he goes down into the 140s when you get 2 outs in runners in scoring position. That's a pretty special number.
Roberts on a 2-2. The delivery to him, that'll be popped up as he got jammed. Second base. Pedroia there, and he's got it. Roberts is retired and 1 away. John Lester, not an easy man to beat. Verlander, Justin Verlander, Zach Greinke, Hernandez with Seattle, and then Lester followed by Beckett in strikeouts. And if you do it per 9 innings, he moves up on that list. Only Verlander has more per 9 innings than does John Lester.
Yeah, he went 16-6 last year, and that was the first year after he was recovering from leukemia. First year in the big leagues, 2006, 7-2. Season cut short because of the leukemia.
That one grounded by Jones to deep short. Green makes the play. That's almost a throw from left field right there.
Well, take a look. I mean, if you look at the Red Sox and you understand what they're about, and it pretty much started back in 2004 when they went to the World Series and won their first World Championship in, about 87 years. Theo Epstein said, you know what? We're going to go from, yes, we're going to be a good offensive club, but we're going to have good defense. And Nick Green brings that to the table. And you saw the arm. He's as much into offensive production as he is taking away runs, prevention.
He's improved his defense with each passing day that he's had the chance to play. Quick 2 outs here in the first inning. Nick Markakis. Nick has got a 6 for 25 number against Lester. closing in on the 300 mark. Yet one more time for Markakis. 22 doubles, 8 homers, and 48 RBIs. And that'll be taken for a ball. The Orioles are .500 against left-handed starters. They got a lefty out there tonight in Lester. 13-13 is the Orioles' mark against the Southpaws. Dave Tremblay's team has improved their average with each passing month against lefties. And Nick Markakis will fight that one off. Keep the at-bat alive, 1-2.
That's pretty much the way you have to describe hitting with 2 strikes. I mean, the hitters are hitting 194 when he gets 2 strikes. As far as the league, you can see that Nick Markakis 4-hit game the other night. In fact, over the last couple of weeks, he's had 2 of them.
His bat has gotten hot again. 1-2 delivery to him outside. And we're going to follow these first pitch strikes throughout the game for these 2 pitchers. Jim Sang and Birkin, when he throws those first pitch strikes, hitters hit 218. If he throws a first pitch ball, it jumps up to 316. Same is true for Jason Birkin and John Lester. They both have to get that first strike or they are in trouble. Now, that's not that uncommon, obviously, in the game, but those are pretty extreme numbers.
They really are. I mean, if you look at the counts for John Lester, and we're talking a guy that won 16 games, pitched a no-hitter last year. If you put the ball in contact at 1-0, it's 12 for 24. That's 500. 2-0, 7 for 13, over 500. 2-1, 7 for 14, 3-1, 6 for 13. You want to get ahead, and when he does, he can be about as good as there is in the American League.
2-2, and he got Markakis swinging. So 1-2-3 inning for Lester as he records a strikeout, and after 1, Red Sox have the lead over the O's 1-0. Franklin with a chance to win $99 worth of American Classic scratch-off tickets from the Maryland Lottery for every Oriole home run hit tonight. You can have a chance to win, too. You can enter by logging in at MASSonSports.com. Good luck, Franklin. Fine crowd on hand here for the opener of this 3-game set against the Red Sox, as the Sox took 4 from the Orioles in April at Fenway. David Ortiz, the designated hitter, comes in with a 3-game hit streak. And everybody you talk to around the Red Sox says there's no question this is a different guy from the first 2 months. He is getting the bat through the strike zone a whole lot quicker. And it is showing up in the batting. .333, 7 home runs, 14 RBIs the last 19 games. He's heating it up.
Yeah, a lot of people say maybe cheating on the fastball. So obviously it would behoove Jason Birkin to get his breaking ball over. So there what he did in May. He did not have any home runs in 12 RBIs in 87 at bats in April. He hit .230 that month, got on base 29% of the time, and now it's close to 40%. This
shatters the bat into the corner, base hit. Markakis up with it, and he's on with a single. So Ortiz leads it off with a single here in the second inning. 4-game hit streak. For Jason Birkin, a real test against this Red Sox lineup, but his manager, very confident.
I've never seen one inkling of a lack of confidence in him. I think his makeup is very, very, very good. I don't think he's afraid. I don't think he's intimidated. I think he's okay.
Yeah, and I think what he's trying to say is that he likes the fact he has 4 pitches and everywhere he's gone. Now, he only had about 4 starts down at AAA, the rest of it AA. So it's a big step to come up here against this team. And anybody that thinks he's just going to step in and overwhelm the Red Sox is not a realist. But he does. I mean, this is a learning situation. This is what this year is about. Can you command your stuff? Do you have composure? Are you competitive?
Jack swing by Kotsay.
And we saw Bergenson against the Nationals, which is a little bit different ball club, not have his best. And what Dave Tremblay, and who just talked about Jason Birkin, said, what I like the fact that he was that competitive, he competed. And that's what you want from your guys. And they have a number of guys to choose from, as you know, Gary.
Yep. Here's the delivery. Kotsay will pop that one up third base side. Wieters coming over and look out. Little help from the Red Sox after the ball got in there. The problem for Matt was he couldn't get over there in time to get up against the railing and then lean in. He ended up leaning in while he was still moving.
Yeah, trying to find the wall, and then as big as he is at 6'5", and right there, Brad Mills, bench coach, comes over, helps him out. Can't go in the dugout anymore. Well, you can, but it just doesn't count as an out. He used to be able to go in there.
Saw Dustin Pedroia make a strong effort from the bench to get over there, but he realized how big Matt Wieters was, so he wanted to make sure Brad Mills had him before he got over there.
Hey, they're in first place.
1-2 delivery on the wing. Kotsay's got a base hit into left field. Ortiz down to second. And the first 2 are on. That's 4 hits now for the first 6 batters the Red Sox have sent to the plate.
Well, there's your 94-mile-per-hour fastball. We've seen already that velocity means nothing, especially against the Red Sox. They hit mistakes 1 and 2. You want to make a good pitch, unable to do it. And Kotsay takes advantage of it.
The Red Sox come in 7th in average, but 4th in runs. They are 4th in home runs. They have drawn the 4th most walks. They will strike out a bit. They are 11th in the league in strikeouts. But as we talked about, they are able to get big hits. And here's another such situation. Jacoby Ellsbury coming up, with Ortiz on at second and Kotsay on at first.
Yeah, as a team, they're 3rd with runners in scoring position in the league. In fact, the Orioles are about 10 points higher than them. But their on base percentage, that's the 3rd in the league. And that certainly helps. Normally, the teams that score the most runs, if you look at Tampa Bay, they have the most runs in the American League. They also have the highest on base percentage. They usually go hand in hand.
Billy Bean.
Yep. I mean, every once in a while, you'll have a team that has a high on-base percentage, strikes out a lot, but they lead the league in home runs.
Yep.
Or they play in a park like Texas, where a lot of runs are scored.
That is taken for his strike as Jacoby Ellsbury has runners at first and second and nobody out. A speedster, almost impossible to double up Ellsbury. The Red Sox with Ortiz on. Best double play, maybe second to third, third to second on a ground ball. The delivery's hit hard to first. What a scoop, Wigginton. He's got one. Relay! Not in time, but a good play by Wigginton to make sure it did not go by.
They look like a highlight player in both of them. Watch this play. There we go. Routine. Of course, he's played shortstop, second base, third base in the last couple of weeks, and then right there scoops it out of the dirt to make sure that David Ortiz doesn't meander slowly around third.
That's a good play. Well, here's a big at bat. You got runners on at first and third, and you got Ellsbury, who's in all likelihood will take off here at some point. He's got 31 stolen bases, only caught 6 times. Varitek looking down to third to DeMarlo Hale to see what's on here. Varitek, to be followed by Green, is batting in the 8th spot. Upsurge from last year in production, 16 doubles, 11 homers. Breaking ball by Birkin is in there for a strike.
Yeah, they worked very hard. We talked to Dave Magadan when the Orioles were up in Boston back in April, and he said, you know what, last year that couldn't get the foot down. This year working on it all spring training. Doesn't hit into a lot of double plays, only 3 all year long for Jason Varitek.
Ellsbury leaning over at first base. There he goes. Pitch swung on and foul back. As Varitek got what he wanted to go after, and the count's now 0-2.
Yeah, there's probably not as much pressure on Matt Wieters. Wieters, who's been struggling with his throwing, made a couple of good throws yesterday to second base, and then threw one over the head of Oscar Salazar and cost him a run. But you don't have to worry a whole lot about David Ortiz on third.
You don't think he'll steal home?
Nope.
No.
Even though there were 2 steals.
Yes, there were.
I think Getz of the White Sox, and then I saw Gary Matthews Jr. was watching that game late afternoon when he stole home.
On the same day that back at the turn of the century, the famous Tinkers to Evans to chance, Joe Tinker stole home twice in the same game. First time it had ever happened. And on the same date as yesterday when there were 2 steals. Runner goes. They're going to throw through. Ball gets away. I mean, no problem throwing through because you figure Ortiz, unless the ball goes into center, he's not going anywhere at third. So it'll be a stolen base for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah, number 32 on the year, only Carl Crawford of the Rays. And you can see the ball get out of Andino's hand. But again, perfect throw. So Matt Wieters working on it.
Not going to get Ellsbury very often.
Oh, no.
So 2 in scoring position, 1 down, and swung on and missed. Varitek is one of the few in the lineup struggling. He's hitting .204 with runners in scoring position, and Birkin takes advantage of it and gets him.
Well, a big, huge out. A changeup that looks like it maybe hangs and just goes away from him. So once again, not well situated, but fortunate enough to get it by him. This guy's double trouble, though.
Here is Nick Green. He's done a magnificent job as he's had to take over the shortstop role. Green, with 2 in scoring position, has been magnificent in these situations. Look at the highest average with runners in scoring position. It belongs to the Orioles. The Red Sox are third behind the Angels, and Tampa Bay and Detroit. For Birkin, another big test, though. You got to shut it down right here. You got 2 down, runners at second and third, and you got Green up there with an RBI chance. We'll see whether or not he can win the battle.
So he's 380 with less than 2 outs, 480 with 2 outs, but he's 0 for his last 11.
Fouls that one back, and the count will go to a ball and 2 strikes on Nick Green.
We talked about in the opening when the Orioles first went to Fenway this year, they had a 7-0 lead. And he got Jeremy Guthrie out of the game with a bases loaded double off the base of the wall in Fenway.
Jed Lowry is on rehab, making his way back, their regular shortstop. It will be his job after the All-Star break, and what they do with Green remains up in the air. Hitting. So that is going to load the bases and get Drew up to the plate. That'll be the 3rd hit batter by Birkin this season.
Well, great intent, Gary, but again, how do you command your stuff? They're trying to go in, and you can see Matt Wieters move in, and then, well, that's not what you want to do. Drew already, you talked about the great on-base percentage, but he tripled, looked like it was going to be a home run off the top of the center field fence. He will not swing at the ball. I don't care if the bases are loaded.
They're loaded, and there are 2 down. J.D. Drew has a triple. He has scored the lone run. He came in on the single by Pedroia. With the bases loaded this year, Drew has gone 1 for 8. Red Sox have made some hay with the sacks full this season. They got a chance here. Another big moment. Got him to pop that one up center field. Jones. And he's got it. And Birkin works his way out of it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. And the Red Sox leave them full. It remains 1-0 Sox.
In the major leagues that won't go through some growing pains, and last night it was Matt Wieters' chance. He had 2 defensive miscues, but today, rather than focus on those mistakes, Dave Tremblay chose to focus on the way Matt handled himself with the media after the game. Most rookies would run and hide in the clubhouse, but Matt was waiting at his locker for the reporters to come in. He stood there, he answered all the questions, and he was accountable. He said, those are mistakes that I need to do better at and that I'll work on. But Dave Tremblay very focused on how Matt Wieters handles himself. He said he's a stand-up guy, and he's looking at those types of things, not just the stuff on the field, to determine what type of player he's going to be. Gary?
Absolutely. He was very adamant about that. That one in the air by Aubrey Huff, taken to right field. He just got under it. J.D. Drew will get under it and put it away. Huff retired, one away here in the second inning. Lester has given up 13 home runs. Well, you might have a shot at getting those off him. I mean, his performance against the Orioles with that 7-0 mark is somewhat divergent from the overall numbers he's put up this season. I mean, he's 4.68 ERA, which is good. The strikeouts are up there, but he's given up 95 hits in 92 innings.
Yeah, I think the surprising thing of the 13 home runs, 6 are against left-handers because, you know, it looks like he's dropping his arm angle. That's how he struck Markakis out. He's got all the pitches. Came up with a cutter last year. They actually, and their pitching coach John Farrell said, no, I don't think we want to do this. But when they were talking about getting Johan Santana, he was one of the names that the Twins wanted. And because he was coming off leukemia, John Farrell said, you know what, next year we're going to see the real John Lester. And he did. He went 16-6, and he was just overpowering.
Some of the best steals are the ones that aren't made. And that may be the case with Lester. That pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner, but Nolan Reimold got ahead on the count here, 2-1. Dave Tremblay was also talking about Reimold before the game. And the thing he noticed most about his improvement is the ability to lay off bad pitches. And he's done that here, and to get the at-bat to 2-0, now 2-2. He doesn't chase many.
No, he really doesn't. And, you know, we saw Lester, maybe the reason he's as good as he is. And you made a great point. He started out 2-3, 3-3 ERAs, you know, about 5.5 runs a game. All of a sudden in this month, he's 2-1 with a 2.3 ERA. So looks like he's getting it back together. But what got him back into the count, and Nolan Reimold didn't swing at it, was that 2-0 cutter. Now, he never would have thrown that pitch 3 years ago. But now all of a sudden experience. He's been out there. He's healthy. I mean, what a battle he had against leukemia to come back. And so all of a sudden he's a totally different pitcher, and he really tests the ability to hit balls in and out, up and down, all different speeds. He's got about 4 or 5 pitches he can throw for strikes if he's on his game.
That cutter and the two-seamer that he throws have been major improvements for him and helped him to up the numbers we're talking about, with a 3-1 mark over the last 5 games. One no decision obviously involved in that. He struck out 44 over the last 5. Wigginton red hot at the plate with an 8-game hit streak for Wigginton as he comes in with 8 doubles, 5 home runs, and filling in, he's already picked up 20 RBIs. Yes, you are strong, and you're showing it at the plate. And he's got a 2-0 count as well. Wigginton hitting a 261, big cut, and it goes to 2-1.
Well, there they are, and he's played, as we've mentioned, he's played all over. And notice the 3 for 5 with a double. He was talking in the batting cage. He said, if I can pick up the cutter. And he said most cutters are usually sliders. So you see the spin. I don't think you saw the spin on that one, but and there's your no low and away fastball. So, you know, he's pretty unpredictable. And this is not the John Lester we saw, even though he always won. I mean, he was 7-2. The year he got leukemia, he was 4-0. Last year, 16-6. I mean, sparkling numbers. But he's just a much more accomplished pitcher.
2-2 delivery, and that's going to be a base hit. And a 9-game hit streak for Ty Wigginton. So the Orioles get their first hit of the ball game. It will come with 2 down here in the second inning.
And the one thing about Ty Wigginton, he can get on top of the high pitch about as well as everybody. So here's your expo. And boom. Talk about a level swing. You try to hit a high fastball swinging up at it. It's not going to work.
So the Orioles get a man on, trailing 1-0 here in the second. And with 2 away, that'll bring up Melvin Mora. Melvin is 3 for 17, a lifetime off John Lester. Lester looking over a very short lead. And Mora will chop that one right off Veritek's noggin. With that good old country mask on. Saved him. Not too many of those still worn. Many have those molded masks now, but you still see half dozen catchers around who have that old mask. Boy, that one's got a dent in it somewhere.
Yeah, right off the mask. You're right. Yeah, they wear that hockey mask because it protects you on the backswing.
0-1 delivery on the way to Mora. Ground ball to third base. Knocked down by Euclid. Second base gets the out. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one left on base. 2 complete here at Camden Yards. 1-0 Red Sox. They face. They are 20-8 against Eastern Division opponents. 4-0, of course, against the Orioles, but they are 9-0 against the Yankees. How about that? And in fact, in the East, the only other team that has a better than 500 record against Eastern opponents is Tampa Bay. So it's really been all Red Sox in the East heading into the All-Star break.
How about 25-10 at home?
Yikes. And they're going to get a long homestand coming up after they finish this road trip with these 3 games here. Here's Pedroia, got the RBI, his first time up. Jason Birkin has worked through a couple of tough innings, getting out of the first after the first 2 reached with a triple and a single. Got a double play ball off Jason Bay's bat, and then the Red Sox left the bases loaded with Drew flying out in the second. 1-1 delivery. Pedroia jammed, and will take it inside.
Yeah, the changeup he threw Drew with the bases loaded in a 1-0 count was just spectacular. And that's the pop up to short center field. And now he's got to deal with the MVP last year, 2007, the Rookie of the Year. Over 200 hits, over 50 doubles last year for Pedroia.
Mr. Aggressive.
Yeah. Well, he really is. You know what? You got to go, Boggs and Speaker, the only other Red Sox ever did that, over 200 hits and 50 doubles.
How could he have all that dirt in his uniform? We haven't even started the game. He hadn't done anything yet.
Well, but he was out on the bench at 4 o'clock.
Look at the dirt. He's got dirt all over his right leg, up and down. Look at this. And I think he does that before the game starts in the clubhouse. Because if he doesn't look that way, he doesn't feel right about playing. That's the definition of a dirtbag ball player, which is a high compliment. And Dustin Pedroia is one of those. 3-2 delivery, and he draws the walk. So the Red Sox have had the leadoff batter on now all 3 innings. Here's your chance to save on tickets to upcoming O's games. Pick up some exclusive memorabilia. Buy the Orioles Rookie Flex Pack. Save on tickets to 4 upcoming games, including a prime game. And for a limited time, you purchase 2 seats, you get the autographed photo of Nolan Reimold. Purchase 4, you get the autographed picture as well of Matt Wieters. For details, 888-848-BIRD. Go to Orioles.com. Birkin pitching very dangerously. These leadoff hitters getting on for the Red Sox as he's walked 1, struck out 1, and given up the run on 4 hits.
It's not a good combination second time through the lineup, especially this lineup, to get Pedroia on, because Euclid can spray the ball all over the field. He can hit for power, as we talked about.
1-0 delivery, runner going, straight steal. Wieters no chance to throw. It'll be a stolen base, Dustin Pedroia and the Red Sox have clearly come into this series intending to run on the O's.
Yeah, number 13 stole 20 out of 21 last year. He's been caught 5 times. So Matt Wieters did exactly what he did. He picked a good pitch to run on, breaking ball. So now you'll see what Youkilis's approach is. Whether he takes with nobody out a shot to right field. You would think that's the way the Red Sox would play it.
Get that runner over. 2-0 delivery to him. Youkilis has the number 1 average in the league with runners in scoring position, batting at .379. 3-0 count. He's got 42 RBIs on the season. Youkilis to be followed by Bay. Pedroia will be held by Andino. Breaking ball again, and that is taken for a strike. 3-1 on Kevin Youkilis. Hands up the bat, hands down the bat.
Yeah, he said, I don't even know that I do that. But it is a very relaxed position, and they always talk about you don't want to grind sawdust when you're holding the bat or the baseball.
He's not doing that.
No.
3-1 delivery, and that's in there. 3-2. I asked him last year, I said, when did you start it? He said, I don't know that either.
But it works.
Yeah, it works. He said it wasn't something I consciously thought about, that I'm going to do this, which is kind of hard to believe, because if you're not thinking consciously about doing that, what are you thinking about? 3-2 strike delivery. Check swing, and he got him. As Burkin again comes in with the off-speed pitch and gets a big strikeout, his second.
Well, we told you you're never ever going to have any mystery with the body language of Kevin Youkilis. And he thinks his breaking ball, and I don't know, he might have swung anyway. Kind of a backup curveball, 2 in a row, 3-1 and 3-2. Pretty nice pitching right there.
Couple of big outs.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier with Jason Bay walking to the plate.
Still a runner on at second base. Bay hit into a double play his first time up. Team leading 19th homer came on Tuesday night. He's tied for 3rd in the American League in homers, 6th in home run ratio. 1-0 count. RBI chance for him, and he will foul that one back. So Burkin, you see the numbers 1st, 2nd, and 3rd times through.
And it might be that he just relaxes. You know, you come in. I mean, this is obvious. I mean, this is the first time that you've had a chance. 7th major league start. Come out of the bullpen, you know, maybe a little hyped up, amped up, I guess is it.
Balk called. Second base umpire on the spin move. Chris Guccione makes the balk call, and there's no argument about it.
Well, let's see. Well, why do you have to throw?
Right there, he made 2 moves. He stopped, he moved, he stopped, and he moved again.
Well, the infield's going to come in, and that's what Dave Tremblay, the Orioles skipper, thinks about John Lester.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Boy, that really opens it up for Jason Bay. Any hard hit ball on the ground, he's got a pretty good chance to go through here. 1-2 strike count on him, with Pedroia likely going on contact with the speed and ferociousness with which he plays. 1-2 pitch, great jam shot down and in. Mercy. Burkin is picking up some big outs.
Well, how do you build your confidence? You make quality pitches. Good sinking fastball. Let's see. That's Expo hit. Trying to get to that sinker down and in, and you can see great location. One in the middle of the plate. And that's really what it's all about when you're a young pitcher, is making your pitches. When you make mistakes and they hit them, you learn from them. When you make good pitches, you find out that, hey, that's the success formula.
Now he's got to face Ortiz, who delivered a shattered bat bloop single to right field. Somehow he dumped it in, even though Brian Roberts is playing shallow right on the exaggerated shift. There's Pedroia at 3rd. Here's the 1-0 delivery, foul back. It forces the unusual defense against Ortiz, because Mora has to stay close to 3rd with a runner there, and then everybody else is on the other side of the field. Melvin can't move way over, because if he did, Pedroia might take off for home.
Yeah, Burkin's doing the smart thing. He's taking a stretch position. And if you wind up, that would probably be the case.
1-1 strike count. David Ortiz will foul that one back. Ortiz with runners in scoring position, hitting just .224, but obviously feeling much better about himself. He was laughing and joking around in the clubhouse before the game. Believe me, he was not doing that a month and a half ago. He told the writers, just right, Big Papi stinks. Literally, that's what he said. Here's the 1-2 delivery. And the fastball's up high, 2-2.
And you can see what the plan is. And again, if you're sitting on the fastball, trying to crowd him. Craig Stammen, who pitches for the Washington Nationals, he got him to 2 strikes, threw an 83-mile-per-hour fastball, and he almost left the building in Washington.
The delivery to Ortiz. Check swing. Did he go? They check at third. No. Close.
So that's one of the home runs. Rick Kranitz, Royal pitching coach, looking on. Then he took a 96-mile-per-hour fastball against A.J. Burnett. And that was one of his recent, 7 home runs in the last, 18, 19 games?
7 home runs, 19 games for Big Papi. 3-2 delivery on the way. Check swing again. He has the 3rd lowest batting average against right-handed pitchers this year at 220. At home and on the road, nothing particularly outstanding because he wasn't hitting anywhere.
But if you go back, he hurt his wrist last year, he hurt his shoulder the year before, hurt his knee the year before.
And they all seem to be hurting to start this year. 3-2 delivery, and he walked it. Burkin not happy with himself on that one. Because in all honesty, in this lineup, Ortiz right now is one of those you want to get. Even though he's been hot over the last 20 games, you look at the hitters around him, you got to go after him.
You would like to think so. I mean, we talked about the numbers. Even though Kotze's 1 for 7. Now, he did take a 1-2 pitch. Jason Burkin was able to get ahead of him and lined it for a base hit. But with runners in scoring position, of course, he had back problems. He's just been off the disabled list. And, well, he can play the outfield for him. He can play first base. Multifaceted guy, veteran.
He's got 2 down. Burkin trying to work out of another jam here. And the pitch is taken up high for a ball. Kotze, another underrated player, coming off the bench to play at first. We were talking today on the field. I don't remember who I was talking to about it, but trying to figure out another center fielder who could come in and play first base. The pitch is taken down low. There aren't many number 1 outfielders, much less center fielders, who you can just take out of the outfield and move him to first and get a good first baseman.
I was watching him play against Atlanta the other day, and he saved him a double in a 1-run ball game. They would have won that game 1-0.
He's a good athlete. 2-0 delivery to him, and Burkin can't. Oh, he got the strike called on that. 2-1. Jerry Lane's one of those with a late call, the home plate umpire, so you have to kind of delay on these to wait and see. Because Burkin thought it was a ball too, and he had his head down already, and then the arm came up. 2-1 delivery to him. Big fastball that he got by him. May not have been all that fast, but compared to the other ones it was.
And I think, again, what Jason's learning, if you keep the ball in the middle of the plate, you got a chance. I mean, that's what you have to do against not only the Red Sox, any good hitting team. And that's why you work on your command. Important for Wieters to set up, give him a target.
2-2. Runner at first heading, and a ground ball to second. Played by Brian Roberts. And Jason Burkin is living the dangerous life, performing minor miracles through the first 3 innings. It remains a 1-0 Red Sox lead. Book your next trip at Southwest.com. And by PNC. PNC leading the way. It's a great night to be at the ballpark. A little mustard and onion there, and away we go. And a big house on hand and a good ball game. 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the third. Red Sox on top. Lester delivers, and it is a strike. Wieters and Dino, and then Roberts for the O's. Matt Wieters, 234, 4 doubles, 2 homers, and the breaking ball to him will be taken down low again, and a 1-ball, 1 strike count to Wieters. So for Berken so far, bases left loaded in the second, 2 with a runner in scoring position in the third. Got a big double play ground ball after the first 2 got on in the first for the Red Sox. He's spun some magic early on. That's a fastball that's in there.
Yeah, 1-2. Unfortunately, when you throw 67 pitches in your first 3 innings, now Lester came in 13 each of the first 2 innings, but again, much more experience. One of the more talented left-handed pitchers you're going to see in the major leagues.
Matt Wieters waiting, and that'll be fouled off. Matt has struggled against the left-handers in particular, going just 5 for 32. That's a 156 average. Compare that to the 289 he has off the right-handers. But you got to believe with the power he's got hitting from this side of the plate, switch hitter of course, he'll catch up to some of the lefties. 1-2 delivery, fastball, stayed away from him, and he wouldn't go after it. 2-2.
Yeah, both of the home runs, you could see 96, but both of the home runs for Matt to left field, hitting left-handed. First thing the Red Sox said, well, does he have power to the opposite field? I said, well, both home runs that way.
And he'll foul that one off a little late on it.
And as far as Lester, I thought he had leukemia, but it's actually lymphoma, which is a form of lymph node cancer, and that's what he battled and came back from successfully. I think John Farrell thought that because of the treatments he had to take at the end of 2007 and 6, that what would happen is he would just get bigger and stronger as the next season progressed. And there's that late breaking. Yeah, well, it's an awfully good one. And then backdoor.
You got 3. He has 3 strikeouts now.
It came in so backdoor from Worcester.
Well, he just lays that in. Yes. Dave Tremblay said the 2 pitches that have made him a different pitcher have been the cutter, Jim, you were talking about, and that pitch right there that is so tantalizing. Catches the outside part of the plate. He's got a pitch now to get both right and left-handers out with. And he'll start him up with the fastball strike. And Dino, 3-game hit streak coming in. He's batting at 243. John Lester here at Camden Yards, 2-0, a 2.16 ERA. Grounded to short this time. Green. 2 down. A reminder, the Orioles and Red Sox continue this 3-game series tomorrow, 7:05. It'll be Ollie's Bargain Night. Every Tuesday, all upper reserve seats are only $8. So gather up the family and friends and paint the park orange. Orioles baseball. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. And also, don't forget, there's going to be a day game included in this. It'll be Rich Hill and John Smoltz making the start in the ball game tomorrow, and then a day game Wednesday at 1:35 first pitch. Brad Bergeson against Josh Beckett. Beckett 9-3, and a towering fly ball, not where Brian Roberts wanted it to go. Jason Bay is there in a 1-2-3 inning for Lester. Second time he has retired the O's in order. 1-0 Red Sox. Berken a double play to get out of a jam in the first inning. Second, and Ty Wigginton with a tremendous play to get a force out. Later on, he got out of that inning. Jason Varitek, a strikeout victim. Third inning, more runners on. This time it's Euclid who goes down, leaving runners at first and third. Robert says, good job. Berken goes, oh, man. And the pitch will be taken for a strike by Jacoby Ellsbury.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. Triple, single, walk. Those are the first 3 innings for Jason Berken. And if you walk Ellsbury or he gets on base, he's going to be off to the races. No doubt about that.
And foul. Red Sox team beats you in a lot of ways. They can beat you with a long ball. They certainly can beat you at Fenway because they just play so well there. They can beat you with speed if they have to go in that direction. They're pitching. Good, outstanding pitching. Starting rotation, excellent, and the bullpen right now maybe the best in the league.
Well, the numbers are the best. And they have matchup guys. The lefties you can bring in. Okajima, went out and got Ramon Ramirez. They're just, and then you get to Papelbon, and I look at matchups. So Lester 7-0 against the Orioles. Papelbon's 19 for 19 with an ERA of like 0.39. And that's the numbers you look at when you're trying to win ball games, and that's why it's so difficult for the Orioles to beat the Red Sox.
And another one.
Now he just over rotates, Gary. Your front shoulder. You don't pitch often enough, and you probably didn't have to feel like you have to pitch in the minor leagues in as much as you do here. So again, it's a young pitcher right in the ribs of Ellsbury. So he just over rotates and maybe opens up a little bit, and once again. If you're going to hit Ellsbury, you want to do it in the leg because you want to slow him down. I'm not suggesting you throw at him or anything.
I know.
You know what I'm saying.
I know I do know what you're saying. Yeah.
In the ribs don't mean anything because he's going to be. He's going to say hello to Wigginton.
Get him in the knee.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying he won't at least slow him down. Hitting him is not going to. On the ribs.
2 hit batters in the ball game. Is Jason Varitek. And you can bet Ellsbury would like nothing better right now than to say, oh, yeah, we'll watch this and try and steal another base.
Well, he's going to have a brief comment for Ty Wigginton. He says, I'll see you in a little while because I'll be off.
Varitek struck out his first time up. And he was going. He was leaning towards second base as Berken made the quick throw over.
And one of the important things when you do get somebody on like Ellsbury, that you want to make Varitek put the ball in contact as soon as you can because it enhances the chance of maybe he'll hit one of your infielders.
And there goes the runner. He's taking, and the throw is off on the shortstop side. The second stolen base of the ball game for Ellsbury. The third for the Red Sox. He's got 33.
Yeah, great jump, bad throw. You can see the jump. It's hard to tell because the throw was offline. It's to the shortstop side, and quick release just kind of carries it. Yesterday, the 2 throws that Matt Wieters were perfect. One caught a runner. Willie Harris was safe, even though he looked like they could have called him out.
Matt has got 2 out of 18 on the year, including tonight. 1-0 delivery to Varitek, breaking ball. The other thing Berken is doing, all 4 innings, the Red Sox have had the leadoff man on base. Now, coming into the ball game, he'd retired 70% of leadoff batters. That's right where you want it to be, but he hasn't gotten one of them in 4 innings tonight. So he's had to work with somebody on right from the get-go of each inning. 2-0 delivery on the way. Varitek on a Scrooge away. It is not there, and the count 2-0, and no call at third as the home plate umpire Jerry Lane wouldn't go down and ask him. They're checking on the count here. It's got 3-0 on the board, but the count's 2-1. Off second base, Ellsbury, and Dino trying to hold him. Varitek will take the pitch outside for a ball. Now it is a 3-1 count.
Well, pretty simple delivery. The only thing I see is he's trying to pitch to the scouting report, contrary to what he's able to do, and I think that's something that young catchers and pitchers do all the time.
Varitek a chopper up the middle. He's got a base hit. Ellsbury flying around third base. Jones has no play. An RBI single for Varitek, set up by the stolen base and a hit batter, and a 2-0 Red Sox lead.
Yeah, all Jason Varitek is trying to do is hit the ball to the right side, and Berken makes a good pitch, and the result is you can see that ball running away. He can't get it to the right side, but he gets it up the middle. Gets it to Ellsbury's left. Not only gets the base hit, the RBI. 2-0 Red Sox.
31 runs batted in now for Jason Varitek as Ellsbury crosses. The Red Sox captain delivers, and that is hit number 5 off Jason Birkin. Nick Green will stand in. Still nobody out. RBIs for Pedroia and Varitek so far in the ballgame. Green, he was hit by a pitch his first time up. Varitek right back on the bag. For Jason Birkin here at Camden Yards, he's 1-2 with an ERA of 4.3. Much better than his road number, 0-2 with an ERA of almost 12. Bunting popped it up. Wieters has got it. Green bunting for a base hit as he had Mora back. Doesn't get it down.
Yeah, nice attempt, but the execution wasn't good, and Matt Wieters easily snares it.
See, that's the kind of an out the Red Sox generally don't make and that you really want to take advantage of. An unproductive out.
Again, just trying to get Varitek to second base. And then Green, as we mentioned, after being hit by the pitch, he was working on an 0 for 11.
J.D. Drew will take the pitch away. Drew had a triple and scored in the first inning and flied out to center field. Drew has not yet had the real hot streak that he's almost bound to have sooner or later. He's hitting .255 coming in. He'll go on a tear, though, at some point. He does every year. Once or twice in the course of the season, he'll have extended streaks of where he puts up big offensive numbers. That's good news for the Red Sox, who have won 46 games without him having done that yet, and without having Lowry, their #1 shortstop, playing. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Drew. And Drew wallops that one right center field. That ball is way back. Nick Markakis, warning track. Wall up, and it is gone. Goodbye, home run. J.D. Drew, a homer and a triple, and the Red Sox have a 4-0 lead.
Well, there it is, 10th home run of the year. He hit 12 in the month of June last year, Gary. That's what you were talking about. So again, a high changeup, maybe a fastball. It's hard to tell. Everything getting elevated. Part of our PNC scouting report, you cannot be up in the strike zone, otherwise they will take advantage of it. So again, great extension. First time I ever saw him play against the Orioles, spring training. Mike Messina, one of the 270 game winner, threw him a fastball up and away when he was playing with the Cardinals. Hit a home run in Fort Lauderdale. Nothing changes.
J.D. Drew, 2 RBIs on that 10th home run. 4 runs on 6 hits now for the Red Sox. That is just the 3rd home run Birkin has surrendered this season. A couple of them being hit by lefties. The hit batter started this inning, and the Red Sox have taken advantage of it. Dustin Pedroia on a slider that will miss outside. Pedroia's had a single and an RBI, and he has drawn a walk in the ballgame. Brian Bass up in the bullpen for the O's. Drew, that is the 2nd home run he's had, a 3rd home run he's had here at Camden Yards in his career. J.D. Drew's a .340 hitter in this ballpark with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. He likes Camden Yards.
He likes fastballs up and out over the plate and hitters counts too.
So Birkin, who had worked through some tough innings, not able to work through this one. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And Pedroia rips it to Mora, who gets the out, and there are 2 down.
So I think what Rick Kranitz, the Oriole pitching coach, and Dave Tremblay are saying, okay, yeah, we have not pitched. We don't want to give up 4 runs. But are you still going to compete? Are you still going to throw strikes? And nobody wants to give up a 2-run home run when you're already trailing 2-0. But he does. He comes back. Pedroia's a tough out. Gets him out. That's all you can do. And you hope over the next inning or 2, as long as you go, that you can make quality pitches.
Euclid's got a hold of that one to deep center field. Jones is back and at the wall and up, and goodbye home run. No! He caught it! Adam Jones caught it! Up and over the wall and hauled it back in. Watch this catch by Jones. Whoa, Dougie! He denies Euclid a homer.
Club night here at the Yard, presented by Chick-fil-A. Junior Orioles members receive tickets to 10 specially selected games, a Dugout Club hat, membership card, free kids meal from Chick-fil-A, and an Orioles lunchbox. It's all for $17. Plus, family and friends can purchase tickets for each game for just $6. So go to Orioles.com for more information. Gary?
And here he is, the bobblehead man himself, making that bobblehead come to life.
Let's see. Bubble on this one?
No bubble.
No bubble. Didn't have time.
Some catch.
Oh, was it ever?
Robbed him of a home run to straightaway center field. The ball hit over 400 feet. Let's see if that turns things around and gets momentum on the Orioles track here. Jones grounded out his first time up. The Orioles only have one hit. Ty Wigginton a single. 4-6-0 for the Red Sox. 0-1-0 for the Orioles. Ground ball up the middle. Lester fields it. One away. We told you we were going to track these two pitchers, both of whom need to throw first pitch strikes if history is an indicator in order to have a good ball game. When they do not, both of them get in trouble, both Birkin and Lester. Well, here's where we are in this game. Lester tonight, first pitch strikes 0 for 6. The other side of it, Jason Birkin, 2 for 9. You see the averages below where the first pitch is a ball. That has hurt Birkin so far more than Lester in the game. But Lester's not getting it in there. Strike on a swing called against Markakis.
And they're both the same age. That's the amazing thing. It's just that, Lester comes through the minor leagues, and Birkin, of course, goes through the minor leagues, but also goes to Clemson. But he's got awfully good stuff.
Nick Markakis, 0-1 delivery to him. Nick will foul it off. Markakis, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Talking about the Orioles against the lefties on the season, Nick has upped his average a bit to 263 now against left-handers, 322 off the right-handers. But he had been lower than that. Aubrey Huff has picked his average up a good deal against the lefties. He's waiting on deck. 0-2 delivery on the way, a breaking ball, and it'll be inside and low, and a 1-ball 2-strike count on Markakis. The Red Sox have done real damage over the last few seasons against the Orioles. They've got the 4-0 mark this year. Red Sox, over the last 10 years, the Orioles have won only one season series against Boston. The Red Sox, of course, have had some outstanding teams in those years, while the Orioles have been struggling. The Orioles have won 13. Red Sox have won 13 of the last 15 they've played against the O's. 1-2 delivery to Markakis. Breaking ball. Kelly legged him, and he got a break maybe on that one. Lester thought he had a K.
Yeah, take a look on our Masson pitch track. Bottom of the strike zone. Where he caught it over the knees, so maybe a quarter of an inch low. Certainly had the plate.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way. Down low. John Lester is coming off a game against Washington. He won 3 runs, 6 hits over 6 innings. Game before that, he lost to Florida on a tough one, 2-1, and a no decision before that against the Phillies.
Yeah, another game where he didn't give up hardly any runs.
3-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. Markakis a chopper towards the middle. Green can't get it. That one scooted almost underneath his glove, and Markakis has got the Orioles' second hit.
So we told you about he's much better when he gets ahead versus behind. 3-2 with 4-run lead. He's going to throw a strike. Nick takes advantage of it. The other Nick Green, can't get to it. I don't know if he would have been able to throw out Nick Markakis anyway. Nice effort.
Here is Aubrey Huff. Aubrey with a 3-game hit streak. He's the designated hitter in this ball game. Aubrey comes into the day 10th in RBIs in the American League. And that one's way inside as Lester backs him off the plate a little bit. Aubrey's had a good homestand against Washington, 6 for 10, a home run, 4 runs, and 5 RBIs. He had 2 more hits on Sunday, 3rd straight 2-hit ball game that Aubrey Huff has had. 1-0 delivery. That is in there for a strike. 1-1.
And the big number is he's starting to hit lefties. 278 lifetime hitter. Probably about a month ago he was under 200 against lefties. So when that number comes up, you know he's going to hit right-handers.
He's up to 257, so he's really raised the average.
He really has.
Almost 60 points.
And the home run he hit the other night was off Joe Bimel, the left-handed reliever.
There's the off-speed pitch that is in there. 1-2.
That ball looked like it broke very sharply, about 4.5 feet.
You can see why Lester keeps hitters off balance. I mean, the fastball doesn't have to be that fast with the good control that he has of the curveball and the changeup. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Markakis not going. Swung on and missed. Aubrey Huff retired. That is strikeout number 4 for Lester. And there are 2 down in the 4th inning. And again, not a good swing.
Take a look right here. Now let's see. You wrap the curveball, you get on top of it, and then you pull. There's your Exmo release. And Aubrey Huff wishes he had gotten it up a little bit. Another one of those biting curveballs.
So Nolan Reimold will try and give it a ride. He tied his career high on Saturday in RBIs with 3. Also had 3 hits in the first game on Friday night. 2 down. And that'll break inside. He's gone 4 for 10 on the current homestand for the Orioles. He's had 8 multi-hit games. A couple of 3-hit ball games and 6 2-hit games. 1-0. Reimold takes the off-speed pitch outside. That's the patience, those kind of pitches that Dave Tremblay was talking about before the game that Reimold has. For a young rookie player to be able to stay away from that stuff is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he doesn't. Now, it doesn't mean he's not going to succumb to quality pitches, but he very rarely swings at pitchers' pitches early in the count. And of course, what does Lester want him to do? Do exactly that.
2-0 delivery, and he takes that down low, and the count will go to 3-0. Reimold facing Lester and vice versa for the first time. Give him a green light here. 3-0. Markakis on at first. Nick has not extended his lead over there. Kotsay holding the bag. 3-0. And he was taking all the way 3-1. Right now, the Orioles are liking to throw some more pitches.
Well, you're right, and I don't know if that's good because the bullpen, the best numbers in the American League, but as good as Lester has been through 3 2/3 innings, you want to get the pitch count up.
3-1 delivery on the way to him. Reimold a ground ball to short. Nick Green forced at second, goes to Pedroia to get it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 4 complete here at Camden Yards. Red Sox lead at 4-0. .com. And by Corona and Corona Light, official sponsors of the timeout. Relax responsibly. You only have about one more week to complete any balloting you'd like to do for the All-Star game for the starters. One of the players who, interestingly, is going to be going is going to be Jason Bay. Bay standing in here has struck out and hit into a double play. Bay leads all American League outfielders in votes tallied with over 2 million. Ichiro and then Josh Hamilton are the top three, but very tight race with Torrey Hunter and Carl Crawford very much in the mix for the starting roles. Grounded to short, Andino up. Bay's retired, one away, top of the fifth inning.
Yeah, not bad vote total for a guy that was drafted the 645th guy. He was talking about on the bench when we talked about Jason Bay, sitting next to Pedroia, who was in the second round out of Arizona State. He said they didn't even come to see me. They just called me and they said, here's the plane ticket and you're going to get $1,000. He said,
I'm here.
Well, you know, they didn't even pick him the first day. He was fishing the second day and they said, by the way,
can he beat it out?
No, not a chance.
2 down. Ortiz.
Well, what did Kevin Coward describe Aubrey Huff, who said, why didn't you stop 2 runs down, stretching that ball into a double, and Elijah Dukes threw him out. He said, I'm a big guy. And Kevin said, it's like the Queen Mary. That's how big he is. Well, if Aubrey's the Queen Mary.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know.
There isn't a bit. It'd be the Queen Mary 2, I guess, would be David Ortiz.
Yeah.
Because that's a bigger ship. And there are 2 down. 2 quick outs for Birkin. Boy, you'd like to have a quick inning. Kotsay has singled and grounded out. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Red Sox. No runs and only 2 hits for the Orioles. 2 singles by Wigginton and 1 by Markakis. First base. Tried to side saddle that one, and he did it the first time, but not that time. We'll wait on the call. But a runner on. The Orioles' wives are going to be hosting a silent auction tonight and tomorrow right here at Oriole Park. The auction will take place at Gate D starting at 5:30 and continue through the end of the 7th inning. The proceeds from the auction will benefit the University of Maryland Hospital for Children. Proceeds from tomorrow are going to honor the Maryland native and former Angels pitcher Nick Adenhart and benefit the Nick Adenhart Memorial Fund. For details, 888-848-BIRD or OriolesReach.com. So a great job of the Oriole wives. We hope you'll look for that tonight till the end of the 7th inning at Gate D, and then also again in tomorrow's game, during tomorrow's game. They give him a hit?
Yes, they did.
A single for Kotsay. Ellsbury, left field, Reimold going over, and a foul ball. 7 hits on the board now for Boston. Ellsbury has reached on a fielder's choice and been hit by a pitch. He has also stolen 2 bases and scored a run.
Yeah, when we saw him in April, he couldn't get the foot down. Hands were sliding forward with the body, slumping. And Terry Francona said, as much as I would like to have you lead off, you're going to have to hit a little deeper in the lineup. He's led off about 47 games, I believe. 44 games, and they're 24-20 in those games. Actually, 47 games. They're 27-20. So it's not like they don't win when he leads off. He's just more comfortable hitting down the lineup.
They still would like him to be a leadoff batter, and someday probably will be. Ground ball up the middle and another base hit. So Ellsbury is on with a single, sending Kotsay down to second. 2 2-out singles here in the 5th inning, and 8 hits in the ball game.
Yeah, 94th pitch for Jason Birkin.
Bass for the 2nd time in the bullpen, and the dugout wants Wieters to go out and delay. Dave Tremblay does not want this game to go any further in the run department, as the Orioles are well within striking distance right now, but have got to keep it that way here in the 5th inning. Tremblay, you see him asking, okay. He was checking to see whether the bullpen is ready and whether Bass is ready to go. 2nd time for Bass, so it's not going to take him long to be ready. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, on the bench next to the skipper. Varitek an RBI single, and he has struck out. The off-speed pitch is in there for a strike to him. So again, Birkin needs to get a big out here and keep the Red Sox with a couple on base and not get either of them home. 0-1 delivery. Varitek on a check swing. Did not go around.
And you talked about the low runners in scoring position number. Came in at what, 204. Did get the RBI single. It seemed like he was just trying to hit the ball to the right side and hit a bounding ball that went up the middle into center field for an RBI.
Varitek will take that pitch, and that is in there for a strike. He didn't think so, and the count will go to 1-2. Varitek, the #1 defensive fielding catcher in the American League coming into today's play. That's pretty amazing.
And how is that based? I mean,
it's on errors and pass balls, and that one is hit in the air to center, sending Jones back again. This time shy of the warning track. Birkin finds another way. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Coming up, there are the uniform numbers. Now, rather baffling, the Orioles lineup, Jim.
Yeah, and you know that I had a fairly good career, and I pitched games where you get out there, you get on a roll, and until somebody, either you walk somebody or somebody hits a double, and maybe a guy gets a looper, or maybe we talked about the 13 home runs, somebody hits a home run, all of a sudden you're just going to go out there and do your thing. For Jason Birkin, Gary, I mean, this is a young pitcher, 7th major league start. He's been around the strike zone. When he's made great pitches, he's gotten them out. And again, the Red Sox can hit. That's why they have the best record in the American League. They take advantage of the mistakes he's made.
Maybe lay down a bunt if somebody can find somebody playing back here, just to try and get somebody on, try and run somebody, try and get things moving a little bit.
Well, and I think the difficulty is that we look at his record, 16-6 last year, 6-6 this year, but he's a much better pitcher. He's on one of those rolls. He's really throwing 5 pitches over tonight, so he's not walking. You hadn't gotten really of those hitters counts that we talked about where you can take advantage of them.
All right, let's see whether or not the Orioles can get the offense going here, as this is game 1 of 3 against the division-leading Red Sox. And Lester will be working to Ty Wigginton, who continued his hit streak up to 9 games in his first at bat. And Lester will miss outside. The interesting thing is, after we told you how Lester gets hit pretty hard when he throws the first pitch out of the strike zone, he's continually doing that in this ball game tonight to hitters. But the Orioles, at least at this point, have not been able to take advantage of it. Wigginton will take it up high, and Lester falls behind.
And I think one of the reasons, and we can look at the radar gun, and he's gone from about 90, maybe throwing some BP fastballs, to 96. He's got in some hitters counts, thrown the cutter. We've seen the good curveball, so he's really, to me, unpredictable tonight. You just can't sit on any one pitch. And right there, 2-0, you're looking for a fastball. Guy's going to do a little dance as he fouls it off his foot. And again, you're thinking that's just a little cut fastball. It gives a little bit of movement. Ty said, if I see it, I have a perfect good chance to hit it. But there's a perfect example. He threw him a good one, and he just swung over the top of it.
One thing Lester is getting in this ball game that he hasn't had in many of his starts are some runs. He has not been one of these starters for the Red Sox who's garnered much in the way of support. Catches the outside corner with that one. And in a ball game like this, when he's pitching as well as he is over the last half dozen games, if they get the early lead, he just gets tougher.
Well, I used to always think, if they get me 4 runs, I got to give up 5 runs. And I'm not going to do that if I'm pitching as well as I can, and I'm commanding all my pitches. And that's what he's doing tonight. And again, he comes back from 2-0. He throws some cutters, and then all of a sudden we've seen the curveball. It's a pitch that you talked about, along with the cutter and the changeup. it's devastating.
And he gets another strikeout there. Bear in mind, he is second in strikeouts per 9 innings, and he's on pace right now to get the 10 over 9 innings that he normally gets.
Well, he is, and if you look at all the strikeout guys in the American League, he's the only left-hander in the top 10. So to me, right now, from what I've seen tonight, probably the best left-hander in the American League.
And the delivery to Melvin Mora. There's that breaking ball again. That will miss. Mora with one down and nobody on. Orioles with only 2 singles in the ball game, and Melvin will be followed by Matt Wieters. Melvin will take the fastball that is in there for a strike. So what Lester's been able to do tonight is what he did against Wigginton: fall behind early in the count and still come back and find a way to get it out, including strikeouts, of which he has 5 in the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Mora. And that is going to miss outside. 2-1.
And a lot of that goes to the captain, Jason Varitek, who's calling the pitches. And part of it, when you're a veteran, is, okay, we want to pitch a guy this way. Can my guy on the mound do it? And Lester can pretty much do whatever he wants to, at least so far.
Great confidence right now. So I got to miss. It's not that the Orioles have helped him. They are not chasing any bad pitches, even though they are ahead in the count. He's just coming back and throwing nasty strikes when he's down 2-0, 2-1. And he's got a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Melvin Mora. And he'll foul that one off as he reached to the outside part of the plate.
Well, they were talking about signing Lester for 5 years, $30 million. And kind of interesting the way that Theo Epstein has been able to manipulate his salary. Beckett, Lester, Dice K, Wakefield, Smoltz, Penny, and Buchholz make less than $36 million. That's what Sabathia and Burnett, the 2 of the Yankee pitchers, make.
You got to be able to do that. That's just smart managing. If you can hold them together for a few years, keep a group like that together with that kind of a payroll, you're in great shape.
And then their bullpen with Papelbon and Sato and Okajima and Masterson, Ramirez, who they acquired, and Javier Lopez, who's been sent out. It's about $11.7 million. So again, under $50 million, they have one of the better pitching staffs, not only in the American League but in baseball.
2-2 delivery, and he pulled the string on him and gets another strikeout. 2 in the inning, 6 in the ball game for Lester.
Well, the Orioles are finding out what happened to Toronto, Texas, and in Philadelphia. And that's where he struck out 12, 11, and 11 in back-to-back-to-back games. So there's your expo, and it doesn't get any better of slowing down the baseball and telling you what pitching's all about. Big curveball, and you got Melvin Moore out on his front foot. Melvin, pretty good breaking ball.
Now Matt Wieters will stand in, 2 down and nobody on. Wieters also a strikeout victim. He went down on a called 3rd strike in the 3rd inning. These Oriole hitters are only getting their 2nd at bat in the ball game, and we're in the 5th. Red Sox hitters have already gone through 3 times for almost all of the lineup. So Lester right now really dominating here in this ball game.
And that was the 68th pitch, so the pitch count pretty much where you want it to be.
Quality stuff. A 2.45 ERA with that 7-0 mark he has against the O's. Wieters fouls that one off the other way.
Well, I pitch with obviously with a lot of great left-handed pitchers, Cuellar, McNally, then Flanagan, McGregor, people like that. But what he reminds me of was when we used to face the Tigers and Mickey Lolich, where you don't get a lot of balls in the middle of the plate. Mickey pitched a game against us with Boog and Frank and Brooks. I mean, good hitting ball clubs. Maybe threw a couple of pitches in the middle of the plate in back-to-back games.
1-2 delivery on the way. Ground ball foul as he had to reach for that. His control has been impeccable here tonight as Lester's worked inside outside on both right-handers, left-handers, and that was one of those pitches forcing Wieters to have to lean out over the plate to go after it because it's right on the black. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, you hope he makes a mistake. He just to this point hasn't made a glaring mistake.
1-2 delivery, and that'll miss inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Okay, and when he comes in, he comes in. Then we go back yesterday. David Hernandez, 1-0 lead. 0-2 on Adam Dunn. Tried to come in, didn't get it in. Short hop the warehouse.
2-2. Did he stay off it? They tag him. He did not go around. Tony Randazzo at first base with a call, and the count will go to 3-2.
Well, take a look at what Tony is looking at. He's looking at how far the bat travels, and it didn't travel very far. Chris Veritek's going to try to do a little politicking. Didn't work.
So a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Wieters with 2 down and the base is empty. And Wieters are grounded towards the hole. Green's got a long throw, trying to one-hop it. Did not get him. Would have been safe anyway, as Kotsay was unable to hang on to it. So Matt Wieters will get a 2-out single here in the 5th, the 3rd Orioles hit.
Yeah, nice play by Green. And Matt Wieters out of the box for a right-handed big guy. Gets down there pretty quickly.
So Andino will try and keep this going with 2 away. Andino's got a 3-game hit streak. He grounded out his first time out up in the ball game. Batting 9th in the order. Andino's had 3 hits, 12 at bats so far in the homestand. And the pitch is taken inside for a ball. Andino with multi-hit games, 7 of them this year, including 1 4-hit ball game, his first.
And I was taking a kind of what you talked about. Somebody's going to have to lay down a bunt, and of course, the minute you think about that, Youthlis starts back on the first pitch. He creeps in. Now he's way back, but maybe a push bunt. But the Orioles don't do a lot of that.
No.
And against a guy as tough as Lester, sometimes, of course, now at 2-0, it turns into one of those accounts, those hitting counts. And remember, coming into this game, 2-0 counts, if you put the ball in play, 7 for 13, over 500. So let's see if Robert Andino gets a pitch to hit here.
2-0 delivery on the way. This is where Lester's been able to come back time after time tonight when he's fallen behind. 2-ball, 1-strike count on Andino. Andino's reaching that point of most games played in a season without Izturis available. 41st game. He's played 44 last year. That's the most in one season he's ever played. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Dave Tremblay saying before the game tonight, Izturis is not anywhere near ready to come back and play. He's supposed to join the ball club on the road trip to work out with the team. But he says Izturis won't be ready until after the All-Star break, and not even clear how soon that will be.
Yeah, he's been scurrying around doing the bike, but I haven't seen him on the field. The one thing about Robert Andino, he has proved that he is a superb major league shortstop.
Gotten better game by game.
Oh, he really has.
He's made some big plays. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Wieters with 2 down on first base. Andino broken back towards left into no man's land. Base hit. Wieters will stop at second base. So the Orioles with 2 down get singles from Wieters and Andino to put 2 on and get the top of the order. Brian Roberts up against Lester. Orioles have stranded only 2. Both of those were left at first base. This is the first time in the ball game the Orioles have had a runner at second.
So John Farrell out to talk to John Lester.
Farrell, former pitcher in the Cleveland Indians organization. Did not have a long major league career.
But did he ran in their farm system? And
yep. And it did a great job.
Yeah, wanted to get back into baseball as an instructor.
Earned the job here. John's a fine gentleman.
Well, the guy they compared John Lester to was Cole Hamels, who had such a great World Series last year. Both the same age, 25. Brian Roberts, he's 0 for 12. Boy, would the Orioles like him to get one of those patented doubles.
He has popped out and flied out in this game. He comes in leading the league in 2 baggers. Lester with 2 on and 2 down. Roberts will take the first pitch up high for a ball. Brian this season 295 with runners in scoring position. He's got Wieters on at second and Andino on at first. The Orioles down 4-0. Delivery to him. Playing way back in left field, Jason Bay. Ellsbury moved in a bit in center. Drew's pretty much straight away, but Bay's way back in left. Not wanting to give up the doubles. They'll let a single drop in front of them and try and prevent a big inning, as opposed to playing in and having one going by you. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Roberts takes it, and it's on the corner for strike 1 and 2.
And body language tells you how good he's pitching. I mean, Brian thought he'd get something maybe up in the strike zone, drive, elevated a little bit to one of the gaps, and boy, he just paints the outside corner. And the shoulders slump a little bit.
Lester, one of those very unemotional players. As a pitcher, you rarely see anything out of him but the delivery. 1-2. That's going to miss outside, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
He's probably a little smaller version of Jim Cott, who went on to win 280-plus games. 16 gold gloves.
Reminds me of John Tudor.
Yeah, maybe a little bigger guy. Yeah.
The style and his attitude out there.
Of course, Tudor had some great years for the Cardinals, 21-5 back in the mid-'80s.
2-2 delivery on the way, and he fooled Brian, but Roberts was able to get the bat on it and foul it off and keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
In fact, that lost to the Red Sox 1-0 on a Saturday afternoon against John Tudor. Sacrifice fly by Dave Stapleton.
Dave Stapleton, who should have been at first base in Game 7 of the 1986 World Series.
Yes, he should have been.
But he wasn't.
That's what they did in the playoffs. They did the playoffs without Michaels that year. Every time they got a lead, Stapleton.
2-ball, 2-strike count.
But John McNamara wanted Billy Buckner because he had a terrific year to be on the field.
To celebrate.
And
he was. Yeah, but the celebration wasn't the Red Sox.
No, it wasn't. Not by a long shot.
Here's the 2-2 delivery, and he got him. Man, Roberts can't believe it. Oh, he heaves the bat and the helmet. He's been warned by the home plate umpire, Jerry Lane. And the Orioles will leave a couple on, and the Red Sox still lead it 4-0.
Stars are out there as former Ravens center Mike Flynn spent 11 years with the Ravens and was a member of the 2001 Super Bowl team. Right next to him looks like that's Spencer Falou as well. He was also an offensive lineman. And also behind the Red Sox dugout, we did notice that Antonin Scalia, the senior justice of the Supreme Court, is here as well. He was appointed in 1986 by President Ronald Reagan. And of course, everybody in this area knows these two faces, big faces in college basketball. Jimmy Patsos, head coach of Loyola basketball just up the road, and Gary Williams, who is head coach at, of course, the University of Maryland. He has 600 wins, over 600 wins, and is second only to Dean Smith and Coach Mike Krzyzewski on the all-time wins list. Gary?
Tell you one thing, Amber, People Magazine has got nothing on us. The pitch is taken for a strike. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, Brian Bass on in relief of Jason Birkin. Came in on Saturday night, struggled, hitting a couple of walks. Albers came in with the bases loaded, got out of a jam.
That one to short, and they get Green, went away.
Yeah, there are no such things as difficult plates for Robert Andino. You hit it to his right, he gets it up the middle, short hops. He has played well.
So Brian Bass on after Birkin worked 5. He gave up the 4 runs on 6 hits and hit a couple of batters, couple of walks, 3 strikeouts. Ground ball towards right. Roberts can't get that one. And J.D. Drew is on his way to a cycle.
Yep.
J.D. Drew has got a homer, a triple, and a single in 4 times to the plate in this game.
And the Red Sox are probably saying this is just like home in a sense that the infield is quickened up here at Camden Yards. If they had been here in April or May, the ball probably wouldn't have gotten through. Much harder. Ryan Roberts, nice effort. But you can see the ball doesn't slow down like it did early on.
So that's going to be another base hit for them and an opportunity with only 1 away. But Dustin Pedroia takes it inside. Pedroia's had a single, a walk. He's grounded out. He has picked up an RBI in the ball game, and the Orioles have got to hold it right here as Bass coming out of the pen. The Orioles can only hope they can get to Lester, get him out of there, and then that strong bullpen we've talked about that they'd have to face, but can't give up any more runs in the ball game.
Yeah, Brian's been struggling a little bit. A lot of work. Maybe arm a little bit tired, maybe side to side, so the arm drops and the ball doesn't sink. It just runs. Hard to control that, and a lot of hitters counts lately. See right there. We were talking the other day. I said, somehow you got to figure out how to get your arm up and just slow everything down. But then again, it's hard to do that when the game speeds up in front of you, especially against the Red Sox.
3-0 count. Pedroia. But Drew on at first base, taking all the way, and he's on. He thought that was a strike, and so did Bass. So Bass surrenders a walk, and the first 2 on against him here in the 6th inning, and now you get the middle of the Red Sox order. Tomorrow, don't miss your chance to meet Orioles outfielder Felix Pie at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria Mall. Pie will be on hand at the store from noon until 1, signing autographs and meeting with fans. That's tomorrow in York, PA, from noon to 1. For details on all of the Orioles community appearances, go to OriolesReach.com. 2 on, only 1 out. Kevin Youkilis robbed of a home run in the 4th inning on a great catch by Jones in center. He has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice, and he'll take the slider from Bass for a strike. Jason Bay to follow here in the middle of this lineup. Kevin Youkilis, who had played first base most of the season, was in a virtual tie with Mark Teixeira for the All-Star balloting for the starter in the All-Star game with a week left to go. Both of them had just over 1.5 million votes, and not too far behind them was Justin Murnau with over 1.2 million. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Youkilis, and a grounder towards short. Andino 1, Roberts got him, double play. Youkilis upset about that one on the call by Tony Randazzo. And he gets a little help at first base. Tim Bogar steps in between to make sure he's not tossed out of the ball game. He isn't.
notes from around the major leagues. Mariano Rivera gets his 500th save for the Yankees last night as they took on the Mets. Also, Manny Ramirez making his way back to the Dodgers. He will play in his final minor league tune-up tonight. He was hitless in his last start in the minor leagues. He also drops to 7th in All-Star voting. And Jimmy Rollins will return to the Philadelphia Phillies lineup Tuesday. He has been benched 4 games in the midst of a very tough slump. Gary?
And Adam Jones will lead it off here against Lester, who has surrendered only 4 hits and no runs. Now, between innings, Dave Tremblay had a pretty good discussion going with the home plate umpire, Jerry Lane, and there was a lot of screaming going on from the dugout. I couldn't see who the player was. Dave was trying to protect whoever the player was who was hollering out. I think it was Brian Roberts at Jerry Lane, and they had a pretty heated discussion between innings. Just keep that in mind as the game rolls along. A strike taken by Adam Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike. He is grounded out twice in the game.
Yeah, the 7th strikeout by Lester was a slider, backdoor slider that Ryan Robertson, we ran it back on our Masson pitch track a little bit outside, called him out on it though.
Lester again just coming with enough off that pitch to make it a 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, he has changed speeds, not only with his fastball, with his curveball, with his cutter. It's a totally different pitcher than from 2 years ago.
Adam 5 for 14 off him now. And a fastball eats him up inside and low. That's 8 strikeouts in the game. He struck the side out in the 5th inning. There were a couple of singles in it. Now he starts this one with a K.
And again, when you're using all kinds of pitches, let's take it your X-ball, you're just with 2 strikes, you're going to see even Adam Jones is having a terrific year swinging bad pitches, especially when you can't sit on anything. You can't even look 2-0. I mean, normally with a 4-0 lead, you're going to get a fastball to hit 2-0. That has not been the case tonight.
So confident with all of his pitches, you can't sit on anything. Here's Nick Markakis, and he will take it down low, a single and a strikeout.
Excuse me, Gary, but the radar gun doesn't mean anything because we see 94, 96, 90, even 98 get hit all the time. But if you're deceptive, if you change speeds, if your ball moves, if you have everybody has curveballs and sliders and changeup, but are they quality? Are they, they judge it on a scale from 1 to 8. Are they 6 and 7s? Well, his stuff, his fastball is right up the top of the rank. His curveball's right at the top of the rank. His cutter's right there.
I don't think he's thrown a pitch above the knees that he didn't intend to tonight. And those have been that he's tried to get hitters to chase. 1-1 delivery. Markakis will take it outside this time on a 2 ball, 1 strike count.
And it looks like it's real easy in the sense that he's nice and relaxed. There's not a lot of effort. He's probably overthrown maybe 1 or 2 pitches that have gotten up and away.
Strikeout wise, we told you Lester coming in with a 10.3 Ks per 9. He's had 4 strikeout games in double digits this season. He did against the Yankees, Toronto, Texas, and Philadelphia. Had 3 in a row where he got 12, 11, and 11 strikeouts. 2-1 delivery. Markakis will take it down the line in left field. Jason Bay giving chase, can't get over there, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count on Markakis. Opening up the 3-game set tonight, and Lester right now is the story.
Yeah, one of those games, and one of the games is in Philadelphia. You know how tough that park is. Strikes out 11, only gives up 2 hits in 7 innings against that lineup. One of them is against the Rangers. We know how they can hit. He pitches a 2-hitter complete game with 11 strikeouts, 2 walks.
2-2 delivery, and boy, that was close. Almost dropped in another one. He's got the same record at home and on the road. He's 3-3. ERA at Fenway is 4.01. ERA on the road is 5.26. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Nick Markakis with 1 down and the base is empty. And a just get out of the way. Ball hit the bat. Foul ball. That really wasn't even a swing.
No. Well, 3-2. You're looking to cover the spectrum of the strike zone, and it's a running fastball up and in.
Lester with a 3 ball, 2 strike count. Huff waiting on deck. 3-2 delivery. Markakis again fights it off. And Nick battling here as the Orioles getting into grind time in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They have stranded only 1 runner in scoring position. And in the 5th inning, only 1 runner to reach second. Nobody's gone beyond that tonight.
Yeah, and the dilemma for Varitek and Lester is, okay, good hitter at the plate, hit a single on a 3-2 pitch up the middle. Don't want to walk him. He's yet 4-run lead. What are we going to make him swing at?
3-2 ground ball. Second base Pedroia. And they're 2 away.
And they chose the fastball. And he once again made a quality pitch.
He has really dominated this ball game. Red Sox starters have been, as Jim was talking about earlier, outstanding this season. Their pitching staff overall, the starting pitching is 11th, but they have not given up walks. They've pitched 5, almost 6 innings per start for their starters and are getting better in that department. And then that bullpen, which has got the best ERA going in the league. Aubrey Huff after it in an 0-1 count. Huff has been off balance previous 2 at bats. He has struck out and flied out. Lester has been all over the place with his pitches, but in or near the strike zone, like that one that missed. 1-1. Hitting for the cycle on June 29, this date in 07. Aubrey Huff did it, the 3rd Oriole to do so. And will we see another cycle tonight for J.D. Drew of the Red Sox? Ball hit in the air to left field. Bay is back. Warning track, and he's gone. And a 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th. So Lester continues to dominate. Even the outs that are deep are just that. And it's 4-0 Red Sox.
J.D. Drew looking for the cycle tonight. Triples. Pedroia would drive him in, and then Adam Jones takes a home run away from Uke. And John Lester, boy, has he been overpowering. He has had, as Gary Thorne told you, 4 games over 10 strikeouts. Tonight he's got 8. Brian Roberts doesn't agree with the call. Ball was outside, except Jerry Long thought otherwise. But he's been overpowering in early lead. And Brian Bass trying to keep it right there.
Birkin went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, walked 2 and struck out 3 for the O's. Bass on to work his 2nd inning here. Jason Bay, Ortiz, and then Kotsay coming up. Bay's had an 0 for 3. Hit into a double play, struck out and grounded out. And the breaking ball from Bass will be in there. The Orioles continue to have the problems with their starting pitching as far as getting deep into ball games is concerned. The Orioles average only 5.4 innings pitched per start, which is the fewest in the league. Right off the end of the bat, Andino. Oh, mamma mia.
Telling you,
retired.
Very, very impressive.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Are your teeth clean? David Ortiz. the Tooth Fairy. Is this like an initiation into something?
It could be. Who knows?
Here's the old 0-1 to Ortiz.
Hey, they're in the ballpark and they paid.
Exactly. Wear anything you want. Just wear something. A 1-ball, 1 strike count, 1 down.
Well, at least we don't have, let's see, BIGPA. 7 guys out in right center field with their shirts off with Big Papi across their chest. That will be.
Don't give them any ideas.
No, well, I'm sure that's not the first time somebody's thought of that.
That anybody who would do that couldn't get that many letters together in the right order. 2-ball, 1 strike count at Ortiz. Hitting at 223, right at Marquez. 2 down.
Yeah, Rob.
3 and a walk for Big Papi.
Yep, and he, quality at bat, worked the count into his favor, and you start hitting the ball like that, all you had to do is elevate that. It would have been 5-0. He's not happy, but hey, that's why you got 7 guys behind you when you're pitching.
2 away here in the 7th inning. Mark Kotze's had 2 singles. His average is now up to 317. He has taken over the first base spot, with Youkilis having to move to third. The update today on Mike Lowell, who's back in Boston and will not be here for any part of this series. Lowell got a shot in his hip, a fluid shot, to try and ease some of the pain. And they're going to let him work out tomorrow in Boston and just see what happens and how he feels. And then they'll decide whether he's got to go on the DL or not. So Terry Francona puts Youkilis over at third base and puts Kotze at first. That ball hit in the air to left center, not deep. Center fielder Jones is over, and he's got it. 1-2-3 inning, 7th inning stretch time. It's brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly.
Joined now by MASNsports.com's Rock Kabako, School of Rock blog. Thanks for being here with us. Now, I know that Mark Hendrickson has been getting a lot of chatter on the blogs. What are people saying about him? It seems that maybe he has found a new niche, a new role.
Looks that way. The numbers don't lie, as I wrote earlier today. He's always been better as a reliever than a starter, and that's why they signed him originally. He was only forced in the rotation because of Rich Hill's injury. 3.60 ERA and 13 relief appearances this year. Since he went back to the pen, it was 6.35 as a starter this year, and opponents were hitting .333 against him. And Dave Tremblay said he's better being used short spurts, 2-3 innings, get him out of there, let him rest a few days, bring him back in. He can be a lefty specialist for you once in a while if you need it, because they don't have one, or he can be that long man. That seems to be his role.
Watching Robert Andino play out in the field, it's tough to remember Cesar Torres is the starter, but he will be back. But what are you hearing about him in his return?
Yeah, I was watching him run sprints earlier today before batting practice. That's how early I'm here, because, I'm so big about my craft.
Everybody's here at that time, but go ahead.
Okay, anyway. So he was running his sprints before batting practice. He's going to do baseball-related activities, I think, on this road trip. Batting practice, ground balls. He hasn't done that yet. They'll probably send him out on a rehab assignment around the break. So it doesn't look like we're going to see him back till after the All-Star break. And they're going to have to come up with some kind of a roster move, but they've got a lot of time to think about it now.
Really quick, coming into the game, there were a lot of base running mistakes, especially by veterans. We saw them in yesterday's game. Did Dave Tremblay address them with the team?
He said so. Yeah, we have a lot of impressionable youngsters watching at Masson and also in that dugout. And these veterans are making the mistakes. Mora, Huff, Scott, Wigginton, and they're aggressive mistakes. Dave Tremblay says they're too aggressive. Guys playing out of control. They understand that. He said he thinks it's been addressed. He doesn't expect it to happen again. He hopes it was the last hurrah yesterday.
All right, well, you want to talk about it. He's here early, folks, with everybody else. You can go to MASNsports.com. Thanks, Rock.
Thank you.
All right, Gary.
All right, and Matt Wieters as Nolan Reimold gets on with a base hit. The Orioles now trying to get this thing going as Lester has gone the distance, and they get a leadoff man on. It'll be Manny Del Carmen and Hideki Okajima in the bullpen for the Red Sox. First action there.
Next thing Rock's going to tell us he sleeps here.
Yeah.
We'll get him a sleeping bag out by the poison ivy in center field here.
Ty Wigginton, 9-game hit streak for him. A single his first time up 1 for 2. The Orioles now with 5 hits in the ball game. And that one in the air to center field. Ellsbury over, ball tailing away. Reimold will go back to the bag. Wigginton is retired. Orioles just have not been able to get anything going against Lester. All the hits, 5 of them are singles, and only 2 came in the same inning.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with stuff. A lot of it has to do with position of the ball on the plate. The fact that because he's changed speed so well and stayed out of the middle. And then, part of it's luck. That ball up the gap. I don't know, Ellsbury can cut the gaps off pretty well, but that's a double. But it's, nicely played, even though it tailed away. Ball carried very well.
Melvin Morris stands in and will take the pitch away for a ball. Melvin's had an 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's now just 3 for 19 lifetime off Lester. Set left-handers at a 267 pace coming into the ball game, about 10 points less than his average against right-handers. 1-0 count. And Mora on a check swing will take it down low, and again the count goes to 2-0 as again Lester has been able to get through this ball game, falling behind hitters and coming back to get them.
Well, here you go. Melvin hadn't hit a home run in 41 games. This is his 42nd game, about 158 at bats. Will he get a good pitch to drive?
He did. Right field, back, and a nice catch made by J.D. Drew.
And just as Big Papi David Ortiz hit it on the nose, so does Melvin Moore. And part of it, how mobile is your outfield? Drew made that look easy, as did Ellsbury.
Let's take a look at
Gary. Both of these balls hit right on the nose this inning.
Let's take a look at our leaderboard presented by Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Fewest strikeouts in the American League. The O's right there with the Yankees, then Toronto, Seattle, and the Angels. Tonight, Lester against this ball club has piled up 8 Ks. 2 down here in the 7th inning. Reimold on at first base, leadoff single. Matt Wieters, a chopper, short, got to go to first, long throw, and we'll get it there in time. Well, again, Lester finds a way. Faces only 4 in the inning. It remains 4-0. For the O's with that 3-2 record going against John Smoltz, who's making his comeback with right now an 0-1 mark. Dave Tremblay talked about Smoltz prior to tonight's game.
He is a warrior, no question, and a big game pitcher. and he's got to be mentally. I'd love to talk to him. He's got to be one tough son of a gun mentally to be able to come back from the injuries that he's had and to be able to be so successful in one area and then another.
Yeah, 210 wins as a starter, 154 saves. And Dave did talk to him down on the field today. I ran into him. He said starting, and I watched the game the other night against the Nationals. He said it was like an out of body experience, because when I was noting, I said, your posture didn't look good. He said, I forgot where my feet were supposed to go. Even though it's only been about a year.
Yeah, well, it has been a year.
Yeah, and
that's a long time.
I thought he threw the ball very well. He made a couple of bad pitches, and the Nationals, to their credit, took advantage of it.
Brian Bass has been out of the bullpen here, working the 6th, 7th, and now into the 8th inning. Jacoby Ellsbury has had a single and hit by a pitch, a couple of stolen bases, and a run scored. John Lester finishing up his work between innings, getting the congratulatory hugs and high fives. Here's the 2-1 delivery, grounded towards second base. Brian Roberts up with it, and Ellsbury is retired. Bass has worked deep a couple of times, his longest outing 4 1/3 innings against Oakland in June 7 ball game, and in this one he's done a good job.
Yeah, he really has. And again, I think when he got tired, he pitched 4 1/3 innings, a shutout ball, and then start dropping your arm, you lose your sinker. But tonight, with a couple of exceptions, he's been very, very good.
Red Sox got on the board early, scoring in the first inning on the RBI by Pedroia. J.D. Drew had a big home run, his 10th in the 4th inning, good for 2 RBIs. Varitek had an RBI single in that 3-run 4th inning. Those are the 2 innings the Red Sox have scored in. Varitek with the 1 for 3 in the ball game. Varitek now 5 for 14 with a home run and 3 RBIs this year against the Orioles. Jason Varitek, he's got 10 home runs here at Camden Yards in his career. That one down the line in left field. Reimold coming over to get it. And he's on with a base hit with 1 away here in the 8th inning. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates tonight. Lester, the starter for the Red Sox, and a good one. Drew had the home run, his 2 RBI homer. He's got a chance maybe at the cycle in this game. And Justin Pedroia, he's delivered 1 hit, an RBI, and been on base 3 times. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862. Nick Green batting in the number 9 spot. Green has had an 0 for 2 and been hit by a pitch in the game. 10 hits on the board now for Boston. They've left 8 on base in scoring the 4 runs in the ball game. And that'll be taken outside. Sox are trying to go 5-0 against the Orioles this season. As of right now, they have outscored the Orioles 34-14 in the 5 games. 1-1 delivery. A slider by Bass outside. 2-1.
Yeah, Nick Green was talking before the game. He said it is great to play on a winning ball club. He said when I played for Tampa, he said they played poorly, so did I. He said here every day you try to figure out which of your guys are going to step up and help you win a game. And boy, you mentioned it earlier, minor league free agent, last year played AAA the entire year for the Yankees, and they got him as insurance. And then Lugo had the knee problem, Lowry had the wrist problem, and all of a sudden, until Lugo came back, who hasn't played well defensively, he's been your starting shortstop.
And he pounds that ball right off his own foot or leg, and a 3-ball 2-strike count, and he'll limp away. They don't need another shortstop to go down.
And there's that sinker. Take a look right here. It's going to hurt either way, Exmo or not. Yeah.
Oh.
Shin.
Oh, man. Now all they got to do is hit. 1 down, runner at first base. And the 3-2, the runner going. Down to third. Moore's going to have to go to first. And we'll get the out. Jason Varitek was running. Well, J.D. Drew coming up has got a chance at the cycle. He led this ball game off in the first inning with a triple that bounded away and would score. Then he got a home run, his 10th in the 4th inning, 2 RBIs, and a single in the 6th. So J.D. Drew gets an opportunity. The last cycle for Boston, John Valentin, came in June of '96 against the White Sox.
And at least the press guide says he's never done it. He got 4 hits 8 times coming into this season. Well, I don't know about no doubles on that. No, not on that pitch.
Good pitch by Bass down and away. So J.D. Drew with a big night. We're talking about the fact he hasn't heated up yet this year, even though he's had a solid season. Maybe he's heating up right now. Bass outside to him, 1-1.
Well, Dave Magadan, the hitting instructor, said when he hit the 12 home runs last June, he said it was like everything slowed down. Remember George Brett hit 390? He said it was like a beach ball. Now, J.D. would never say that, but his hitting instructor did, because it just looked like he slowed everything down. He just
J.D. would never say anything.
No, he doesn't. Not a whole lot.
He's one of the quietest ball players, publicly at least, in the game. He's got a hot bat. Also got 43 walks. He's 9th in the league in walks. 2-1 delivery to him, and a ground ball towards second base. Played by Roberts, and that will retire Drew. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. For the Orioles, time running out. A 4-0 Red Sox lead. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Adam Jones going deep. Home run, Youkilis. No! Look at this catch. Denying him a homer, and that was clearly gone. Great catch made. But that would have been the 5th run. There are still 4 up there, and Manny Del Carmen's out of the pen.
Well, Terry Francona will say one of the reasons we talked about the best numbers from any American League bullpen. Well, it's Manny Del Carmen, local kid, number 2 draft choice. Last year, 73 games. This year has just been outstanding. Only allowed runs in 7 of his 22 games, and has an ERA of about 138 over his last 47 games, going all the way back in August. Mid-90s, big overhand curveball, great changeup. Had yet to give up a home run in the 2009 season.
So the Orioles have to work against the best pen in the American League now, and Manny Del Carmen part of that. Del Carmen has worked against the Orioles this season in 2 games. He has pitched 4 innings, giving up no runs and only 1 hit. Del Carmen's longest outing came against the Orioles on the 17th of April when he worked 2 2/3 innings in a ball game. So the O's against Del Carmen. Robert Andino will lead it off. Bottom half of the 8th inning. And the pitch is taken for a strike. Lester out of there with no runs on 5 hits over 7 innings. He did not walk a batter, and he struck out 8.
Yeah, you really can't pitch any better. And I just can't imagine it if you take the total package.
Try to go 2-0 this year, and 8-0 lifetime for Lester against the Orioles. And that is a called strike. Andino didn't like it. There are the bullpen numbers. Pretty significant lead for Boston over Seattle, then Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Minnesota.
You know, Seattle also with the #1 starters ERA. Orioles will head up there beginning of the week after next, a week from today.
Missed outside, a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Andino just trying to get on here against Del Carmen. He is 0 for 1. Andino with a base hit, 1 for 2 in the ball game, and a 4-game hit streak for him now, batting at .248. The 1-2 delivery and down to first base near the line. Conce had moved over. Will make the play easily, 1 away. On Sunday, July 12, you can join Nick Markakis, Adam Jones at a whole new address. 2110 Utah Street, presented by First Fidelity Mortgage. For just $21, fans can purchase a reserved Utah Street bleacher seat and an exclusive I Live at 2110 Utah Street t-shirt. It's the place to be, July 12, 888-848-BIRD. Log on to Orioles.com for more information on 2110 Utah. That's right there between center and right. Jones and Markakis. Brian Roberts, leadoff batter, 0 for 3, 0 for his last 13. Hitting at .281. Brian turns around for the first time to bat left-handed. Chris Ray in the bullpen for the O's.
And if you want to know how that bullpen, that low ERA, translates into holding leads and winning games.
Roberts got that one to right field, back near the warning track. Drew's there again.
Yeah, not only smooth with the bat, with the glove. If he stays healthy, he's one of those guys, you know, bordering on a 5-tool player. Because he can hit for average. He's got a great on-base percentage. Throws well. Hits for power. He can do a lot of things. Just a matter of staying healthy. But as far as they lead after 6, they're 38-1. Leading after 7, 39-1. Leading after 8, 40-1.
How the hell did they lose one?
I think it was Papelbon with his only blown save. Home run. Somebody took him deep.
That's an amazing bullpen that they've got. And their power pitchers. Here's Adam Jones. And in this day and age, with all that's talked about, I mean, with breaking pitches and curveballs, sliders and splitters, I still believe if you've got a bullpen that's got power arms in it, you're better off than anybody.
Well, when Davey Johnson, one of my former teammates who was managing here in 96 and 97, he said, that's what I want, National League bullpen, power arms. And he had them.
Yep.
I mean, he had Randy Myers, who threw hard and had the great changeup, but he had Benitez, Alan Mills, people like that. They get the ball up there.
Still works. The Yankees have that now. Their bullpen's a power arm bullpen.
But I look at Del Carmen and his stuff, his curveball and changeup are so good. Not that he has to use it that much, because he's got a lead, wants to throw a lot of strikes, and not what he wants to do here to Adam Jones. But he has starter stuff. And then again, if you're Terry Francona, look at the guys you can bring in. They get Ramirez. Okajima's been there. This will be his 3rd straight year. He matches up real. Lefty's written about 130 off of him as a left-handed pitcher.
3-0 count. Jones will take. He wants on here, and he got it. So Del Carmen surrenders the first walk that the Orioles have been able to get. It comes here in the 8th inning with 2 down in the middle of the order coming up, and Terry Francona coming out. He wants the matchup. He's got Okajima out there ready to go. So Del Carmen will work 2/3 of an inning and surrender a free pass. He'll be responsible for the base runner on. Nick Markakis will have to wait with 2 down, and the Red Sox leading it 4-0. And boys ages 7 to 16 features a 4-day instructional program, player appearances by a current and former Oriole, professional instructors. There'll be autographed photo opportunities, a daily lunch giveaways, and complimentary O's tickets. Visit Orioles.com, click on Fan Forum to register and find out all about it. Hideki Okajima out of the bullpen. Left-hander with 2 down to face Nick Markakis.
Yeah, 3 for 12 lifetime off of Hideki. There are the numbers. He's had a real good year for him.
Adam Jones on at first base here with 2 away.
So Markakis has hit, what, 250? The league is hitting 138. The other left-handers gives you an idea that how good a hitter that Markakis is. You could throw it up there with 2 hands. He'd figure out a way to hit it.
Okajima is second in holds in the American League. His batting average 179 against him, the 6th best among relief pitchers. He is 9th in strikeouts for relievers. And is appearing in a lot of games. He's now 9th in the league in appearances.
Yeah, he's got that big overhand curveball. Doesn't throw hard, 87, 88. He's got a splitter changeup. I never really figured out if it's just a splitter or it acts like a splitter and it just turns it over. But it's very effective.
0-1 delivery to Markakis, grounded foul outside of first base. Okajima has faced the Orioles this year in 3 games. He's worked 2 innings and given up nothing. Last outing came against Atlanta. He worked an inning and struck the side out against the Braves on the 26th. The Orioles battling here to get back in, 8th inning, 2 down.
Yeah, the problem he had last year with Jay Payton. Hit the grand slam to win a game, but he's not playing anymore. No disrespect to Nick. He's a heck of a hitter.
0-2, little off speed pitch will miss up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Bear in mind, these Red Sox pitchers are holding down an Oriole team that since June 13 has had the best average in the majors. The Orioles coming in with a 3.09 average since the 13th of June. Nobody's hit higher. But tonight they've been held to 5 singles by Lester, Del Carmen, and now Okajima. The 1-2 delivery on the way. Markakis the other way, foul.
Yeah, you really have to pitch well. I mean, Florida did a nice job. Their starters 1 run in 20 in the 3rd innings. And again, here we go. He doesn't really look at home plate, but it works. Somehow he must focus on it. Veritek gives a great target. Early target, relaxes. I mean, what's the captain? He'll give you an early target to relax the hands, and then, boy, as your head is coming up. So there's a target, kind of goes down, moves to where he is.
1-2 to short, and that's that. Green's got it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. And the Red Sox still shutting out the O's for zip. To you by Southwest Airlines. Book your next trip at southwest.com. And by Wendy's. It's better than fast food. Way better. It's Wendy's. 4-0 lead. Red Sox on top. Shutout underway. Orioles will go to bullpen again. Bass worked 3, no runs, 2 hits, and a walk. And here's Chris Ray.
Well, I came in yesterday, and you could see the inflated ERA. 5 of those runs came grand slam by Hanley Ramirez, as he gave up 7 hits and 5 runs against the Florida Marlins. And then yesterday came in, Willie Harris hit a home run. The one number that's a little bit difficult and troubling for Dave Tremblay is the Chris Ray's ability. I mean, it's great to have him back because he's overcome Tommy John, but the lefties are hitting 22 for 42. That is over 500. Righties, a whole different story. Now 3 righties coming up here in the 9th inning for the Red Sox, but that number's got to get better.
And he's only been able to retire half of the first batters faced. So if you're coming out of the bullpen, that's a problem. Only 10 out of 20 so far for Chris.
Yeah, the good news, Garrett, from what I've seen, is velocity is going up. Sometimes, again, the numbers against the lefties and command. But it's throwing a lot better than his first tour of duty. He was down at Norfolk, kind of trying to find that release point.
Ray will be working here in the top of the 9th inning against Pedroia. Youkilis and Bay due up. And the first ball to right field, right at Nick Markakis. He's got it. Pedroia's retired. He's had a single and a couple of walks in the ball game tonight. 1 down in the 9th inning. Kevin Youkilis 0 for 4, robbed of a home run we showed you by Adam Jones in center. Hit into a double play in the 6th inning that he argued with. Youkilis batting 3rd in the order and hitting .307. Will take the pitch for a strike. 8th in average in the American League starting the day. Always somebody in this lineup, it seems as though, picks up when the guys you think who would be hitting aren't. Veritek's had a 2-hit ball game and an RBI in this one. Pedroia, of course, has delivered an RBI. You do expect that. And J.D. Drew in the leadoff spot with his 10th home run for 2 runs batted in.
Well, if you pitch and defend, everybody feels like they can add something. It's not like you got to go up there and overswing. I mean, you can be patient. You can take the walk. You can always let the next guy pick you up. You don't feel like you have to hit a 3-run home run, even though certainly the Red Sox are capable of doing that.
And that ball ripped, and that one's in the gap and bounces off the base of the wall. Jones will get it into the cutoff man. Youkilis delivers a double here in the 9th inning with 1 out. And he tagged it. That'll bring up Jason Bay.
Yeah, Jason Bay. Now the one guy they've handled, and Gary Thorne told you, let's take it. That was a double play. So they've been able to keep the ball down. That ball may be up a little bit, but again, he's just a little bit over it. So here's a guy with 19 home runs, 5 of those close and late, and that leads the American League, or it's tied for the lead. So a very, very tough out tonight. The Orioles have handled him well.
0 for 4
so far.
And he will take that one for a strike. Tampa Bay's got a 4-0 lead over Toronto. Tampa Bay suddenly is picking things up, as they're going to be right back in contention in the East and in at least the wild card race again. 0-1 delivery, swung on a miss. Tampa Bay has become the first team ever with 100 homers and over 100 stolen bases through the first 77 games. That is a new major league record to have done that in that few a number of games. They're really, I mean, that's pretty devastating. Homers and stolen bases.
And they're going to get Kazmir back. I mean, they're still looking for the. So he's been out for a while. They're leading the American League in on base percentage and runs.
1 ball, 2 strike count to Bay. Runner at second base, and he swings it one way outside as Ray had some movement on that one.
Well, great learning situation. Chris Ray, I mean, this is the way he pitched 3 years ago before he had the Tommy John. He would just throw it by you. He did make a good pitch to Youkilis with 2 strikes. Right there to Bay, he does. And I mean, that's part of the process of learning what it takes to pitch at this level. If you throw a ball in the middle of the plate, they hit it hard, you figure, hey, that's what's supposed to happen. If I make good pitches, I'm supposed to be able to get them out.
Here's David Ortiz, 1 for 4 off Ray, a home run in his career. In the ball game tonight, a single, a busted bat base hit in the 2nd inning. His first at bat, he is walked, grounded out, and flied out. 1-0 count, 2 down. Runner at second base is Kevin Youkilis. Ortiz, a rainmaker pop up to third. Melvin Mora. He's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. The Orioles being shut out. 3 outs to work with. To the bottom of the 9th we go.
And you say it all the time. You have a good pitcher who has his stuff. He will completely shut down a lineup, and John Lester did that tonight.
Unbelievable record against the Orioles. 8-0 if they end up winning this ball game. But the Orioles have got a long way to go if they're going to come back and tie this one up. But you never know.
You never know. Orioles have 3 more outs to work with. They trail 4-0. Bottom of the 9th coming up. We'll see you on the postgame. Back to the booth. We'll rejoin Gary and Jim.
And you are right about that. A long way to go if they're going to get back into this, as the Orioles have been shut out on the season just 3 times. And Ramon Ramirez is going to come out of the bullpen to try and keep that shutout going for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, they traded Coco Crisp for the Kansas City Royals to get him. And once again, Theo Epstein looked at the guy. Okay, can he get righties out? Well, he did. Held right-handers to 153 last year. Only Marmol of the Cubs and Brad Lidge, who was, 47 for 47 as a closer. You go get him. You can pitch in the middle of your bullpen, the back of your bullpen. We saw him when the Orioles were up in Boston. Hard slider, throws a lot of strikes. Get it up there 91, 92. And he had a terrific year. 70 strikeouts in 70 2/3 innings for the Royals last year. And then this year, just a kind of continuation of that.
The Red Sox have had 3 shutouts. Papelbon, if needed, getting ready. Josh Beckett threw a complete game shutout. The others have been combined, the other 2. The Orioles shut out on 3 previous occasions. CC Sabathia did it for the Yankees earlier this season. The Detroit Tigers had a 3-0 shutout against the O's. And Oakland a 3-0 shutout. Now the Red Sox leading 4-0, and Aubrey Huff 0 for 3 in the ball game. Huff, Reimold, and Wigginton are due up against Ramirez.
And the Orioles only had 1 walk. They take some help here in the 9th.
1 walk in the ball game, and that was Manny Del Carmen's free pass in the 8th inning, surrendered to Jones.
And you would assume 4 runs down that Aubrey Huff will be taking here.
Base runners needed. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Aubrey coming in with a 3-game hit streak going for him. Not extended in this one yet. Pitches away. 2-1. Ramirez has worked also against the Orioles in the 4 games played in Boston this season. And for Ramirez, 2 games, 2 2/3 innings, no runs and 2 hits against the Orioles. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Aubrey Huff to first base. Big bouncer. Kotze will go to the bag himself. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Lester, the leader, who could get a win here and go 7-6. JD drew a home run. Pedroia on 3 times and an RBI base hit. You can text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. The results on O's Extra postgame show.
Yeah, JD, if he got into trouble, the double would have changed those numbers. Hit for the cycle.
Hit for the cycle.
As good as Lester was.
Would have drawn some
and
votes.
Is. Not that he was. He is.
Yep.
Is, was. Present, past.
Nolan Reimold a single, 1 for 3. 5 singles in the game. That's been it. Orioles have had only 1 runner to second base in the ball game, and that came in the 5th inning. Lester would go 7-6 with a win. Jason Birkin would take the loss and be 1-5. It's been a real struggle for Birkin to find that second win. He got the win against Toronto in his first start and has not had one since. That will be taken on a 1-ball 1-strike count on Reimold. Ramirez also one of those who's got relief numbers that are among the best in the league. ERA of 1.89, sixth best. 1-ball 1-strike count. Reimold on a slider away, not going to catch that one.
And of course, it's very difficult to win if you're Jason Birkin. In your last 5 starts, they've gotten you 4 runs. So it's a combination of maybe not pitching as well. Again, only his 7th major league start, but not a lot of runs to work with. You better be perfect. It's difficult to do that under the best of circumstances. Rookie or veteran.
1-2 delivery, and that one way outside.
Yeah, he yanked that one off the outside corner. Now they have him at 95. Everybody seems to think maybe the gun's a mile or two quicker here at Camden Yards, but he's thrown a couple of pitches at 96.
2-ball 2-strike count, and a lot of movement when he throws that hard slider. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way. Reimold just pokes that one out to right field. That'll be up in the air long enough for Drew to get it. If the Red Sox win this, they will have won 8 in a row against the Orioles going back to September of last year. This season, if they get it, it'll be their 5th in a row. Their victories in Boston were 10-8, 6-4, 2-1, and 12-1. Terry Francona's team looking for their 47th win against only 29 losses. They have a 3-game lead over the Yankees in the American League East.
But here come the Rays.
Rays are on the prowl. And as soon as the All-Star game is over, we'll start hearing about the wild card, which is going to be just that this year, I think, in both leagues. There are all kinds of teams in the wild card race who you wouldn't even think of, including the Colorado Rockies.
Well, what they've won 20 out of the last 23.
Jim Tracy's
taken over for Clint Hurdle.
Great success. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Ty Wigginton with 2 down, 9th inning, fouls it away. No, the Orioles is trying to get one here, if nothing else, and avoid a shutout. A combined one. Lester, no runs, 5 hits, 7. No, Del Carmen, 2/3 of an inning, a walk. Okajima, 1/3 of an inning, nothing. And now Ramirez has retired the 2 he's faced here in the 9th inning. 1-ball 1-strike count on Wigginton. Guy will take it outside. 2-1.
Yeah, we told you all the innings, the 70-plus strikeouts in a little over 70 innings. He only gave up 2 home runs, so let's Exmo him. Not even looking at home plate. Maybe that's why he missed outside.
They must follow Okajima. The guys out of the bullpen don't watch the catcher.
Well, it's working.
Else.
Maybe I did it wrong. Should have been looking at Weaver.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1 delivery. That one a base hit. Ty Wigginton. That may be the only pitch thrown by a Red Sox pitcher tonight that is hung high in the strike zone.
I mean, Brian Roberts ripped one last inning and whatever, but right here, yeah, you can see that Ramirez more comfortable down, and Wigginton, got a 9-game hitting streak, red hot. Ty came in 14 for his last 30, adds a couple of more base hits. He's not missing too many pitches. I watched him take BP today. Totally different swing than April, early May. Now all of a sudden inside everything, much more confident hitter.
So Melvin Mora with 2 down. 6 hits now for the Orioles, but they have all been singles in this ball game. Mora's 0 for 3. Fly ball, strikeout, fielder's choice. Batting at .268. Melvin in his first games against the Red Sox. He didn't play in Boston. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Fastball way up high by Ramirez. 36,548 the announced attendance here at Camden Yards tonight. Obviously a lot of Red Sox fans on hand. You can see by the colors. Can't get into Fenway. You don't have the season ticket. Or you stand in line for a few hours. So it's almost easier to just travel to New York or Baltimore or somewhere close to see him play.
Washington.
Yep. 2-1.
That is some real firm stuff right there. Rolling away. 95 on the black.
Orioles against the East, 10 wins and 16 losses coming into the game. They'd actually have a winning record at home against the Eastern Division ball clubs, 9-5, but Red Sox they put another chink in that here. 2 ball, 1 strike count, runner at first. Mora will foul it away, and it'll be 2-2. Right back here tomorrow night for Game 2. John Smoltz will be on the mound for the Red Sox. Dave Tremblay saying it's going to be a chance for the Oriole hitters to face a future Hall of Famer. And a chance for Rich Hill to get his 4th win. He'll come in 3-2 to make the start for the O's. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Mora takes it inside. Ramirez trying to rear back and find a little extra on that one.
Yeah, Baritek goes low and away. He goes up and in. Not a big guy, but gets a lot out of it. Only 5'11". Listed pretty solid at 190.
Wigginton hanging around first base, hoping Mora can keep it going. The 3-2 delivery. Wigginton goes, and he walked him. Well, with 2 down, the Orioles get a couple of runners here in the bottom of the 9th. That's only the 2nd walk the Orioles have picked up. Terry Francona's got Papelbon warmed up. It is now a save situation, and they're going to go to the bullpen. So the Orioles in the 9th, not going quietly. Jonathan Papelbon will come on, a 4-0 Red Sox lead. Become one of the game's best closers. Almost one of those that when he comes on, it is lights out, game over in the style of Mariano Rivera. Papelbon going between the closer-starter situation, has earned the role in that bullpen, and he likes it. Comparison of these two teams' closers.
Yeah, obviously he comes in a save situation. He has 131 saves in his brief career. Bob Stanley with 132. So if he does get the save tonight, and this is a save situation, he will tie Bob Stanley against the Orioles. Again, we told you in the opening, 19 out of 19 ERA, minuscule, 1 earned run in 23 innings pitched. Power pitchers, got a splitter, got a hard slider. Get a guy on, tie and run will come to the plate.
He has 7 saves in his last 7 opportunities. And against the Orioles, he's just been untouchable. 25th career game, 19 saves, 19 chances against the O's. Matt Wieters. Here's where you grow a little bit as a rookie. You face Papelbon, bottom of the 9th inning, 2 down and 2 on, your team trailing 4-0.
And I think part of it, they could tell you all about the scouting report, but he took a pitch that was pretty good to hit, probably because he's never seen him. So you want to see how the ball moves. Does it take off? Does it sink, sail, run?
Here's the 0-1 delivery to Matt Wieters, and he fouls that one off, and quickly it goes to 0-2.
It looked like that might have been a little split-fingered fastball. There it is, 88-mile-per-hour slitters. He's already closed, very much like George Sherrill, except he's right-handed. So all he has to do is kick the leg up. And I don't imagine you see the ball very well. I mean, it's good stuff and deception.
He is third in the league in saves behind Fuentes of the Angels and Joe Nathan of Minnesota. He will tie Nathan if he gets number 19 here. 0-2 count. Runners off first and second, 2 down. Papelbon's delivery to Wieters. Matt Wieters takes it in the air, left field. It is not deep. To the Bermuda Triangle. Diving catch made. Jason Bay preserves the shutout with a tremendous catch off Wieters to end the ball game. And the Orioles, no runs a hit and 2 left on in the 9th inning. What a way to end the game.
Yeah, so 2 guys get saves, Bay and Papelbon. He ties Bob Stanley's all-time record. Jason Bay, not just a hitter, went 0 for 5 tonight. Saves him with a glove.
Lester wins it 7-6. Berkin the loser 1-5, and Papelbon gets the save. Hope you'll join us again as Rich